best today. Be your best today. No regrets on 3. 1, 2, 3. All good. No break.
Taking himself, and Thorson's running, and he's got open field in front of him. And this is going to be a touchdown run for.
He's going, and he's going to go all the way to the end zone. No regrets on 3. 1, 2, 3. No regrets.
Max going to be chased, holds on to the football, and that is going to be brought down without a helmet all the way back into Logan.
Beautiful weather here at McCauley Stadium as the 13th ranked Wheaton Thunder open up the 2023 campaign against the 19th ranked University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh Titans. Hello from the booth alongside Doug Rothschild. I'm Aiden Kong. The Thunder incurred a lot of changes on both sides of the ball, including new starting quarterback Ben Thorson. And how do you expect the Thunder offense to ease him into it?
Well, you know, this is obviously a huge game for the Thunder, the opener against Oshkosh, who's one of the favorites in the WEAC to win that league. A veteran team that's coming back, and Wheaton on offense has a lot of great skill players. They have a veteran offensive line. All of them have played meaningful football. 3 of those starters up front are returning for a 5th year. So the big question mark is Ben Thorson at quarterback, and he's a great kid, but his experience under center is somewhat limited. You know, last year he was 8 of 12 for 65 yards, which is not a lot of experience, mostly in mop-up duty. But the coaches like him. He's from a great family, great pedigree. His older brother Clayton was a all Big Ten performer at Northwestern and played in the NFL a couple years. So he's well coached. He makes great decisions. It's really about can he manage the game, not turn the ball over, and how accurate is he going to be? Because he's got some great skill players. So I know the coaches have high expectations. Ben's going to be a little excited in his first start here, so can they manage those nerves, and how well is he going to do coming out?
Ben Thorson, as you said, making his first collegiate start, his first start in over 5 years. He had to go back to high school on October 26, 2018 in his senior year. Meanwhile, Thorson does, however, get to work with one of the best supporting casts perhaps in the country, including Giovanni Weeks, who will return for another year.
Yeah, Gio is an elite Division III running back. He does it all. They throw it to him out of the backfield. Last year he averaged 6.5 yards per carry. He's a preseason All-American, first-team All-Conference performer in the CCIW, which is one of the best conferences in the country. You know, last year he had 1,246 yards rushing with 18 touchdowns. He averaged 113 yards a game. So he had multiple games where he had high 150 to 190-yard games. But he also catches the ball out of the backfield. He's a great receiver. Last year catching 29 balls for 340 yards and 6 touchdowns. So they're going to get the ball to him in as many ways as they can because he is one of their stars. But it's not just Gio Weeks on this offense. You also have a talented receiver skill set with Ben Bonga, Will Eggleston, Caleb Titherington. They have a transfer in Seth Kortenhoven, who played at Wheaton North locally and transferred back from Coastal Carolina. So they have a lot of players in the skill positions, and of course first-team All-CCIW tight end Ben Juska.
Now let's turn over to the Wheaton defense, which did incur a lot of changes, but returned some key players, including Riley Schwartz on the defensive end, as well as Clayton Reeves. But how do you expect this defense to play, partner?
You know, the Wheaton defense, I think, I've been talking to the coaches in advance of this game. They're excited about this group. I think the strength of this defense is going to be in the secondary. You know, you got 2 veteran corners in Max Wilson and Riley Schwartz. You know, Max has got good size. He's a 6'4" kid. He plays a lot of man coverage. Going to be super important today for those people who watch this game. Remember the Bethel playoff game last year that ended the Thunder season. This Oshkosh offense looks very similar to that. We'll talk about that in just a second. But Max Wilson and Riley Schwartz are going to be called on to be guarding two really talented receivers, but that's the strength of this defense. So strength on strength back there today. You know, the safeties are young but talented. The linebacking crew is an exciting group. New, all of them. Some of them, you know, Lawson Hagler was a starter at the beginning of last year, hurt his knee in the Trinity game, was out all year. He's back as a starter. Clayton Reeves, the one guy he had 56 tackles last year, one of the starters coming back. Good player. And then Johnny Eller, they're really excited about him. He's from Knoxville, Tennessee, went to Grace Christian Academy. Really excited about him in the middle. Fast kid who has a nose for the football. Reminds people a lot of Schwartz, the all-conference player of the year linebacker we had a few years ago. Wears the same number. And then up front on defense, two really talented defensive ends that are new. Isaac Parrish, if you remember that name, he has two relatives. His dad played at Wheaton, was one of the better linebackers of all time here. And his uncle played defensive end around the time that I played. So great name, very talented, athletic defensive end. And then on the other side, Peter Johannick, who may remember him. His brother was a center last year. His dad is the head coach locally at Wheaton Academy and played here at Wheaton as well. Really athletic and a playmaker. Two defensive ends that are playmakers, two tackles that are back, Bonaquista and Jaden Ferlita. And so the defense is young but talented.
At the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ripped through, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And let's turn over to this Oshkosh offense, 19th ranked team in the country, coming off a 48-31 win against Texas Lutheran quarterback Kobe Berghammer, stealing the show with 7 touchdown passes, which broke a school record. The Thunder defense are going to have a lot on their plates dealing with such a dynamic quarterback.
Yeah, no question. This is a very talented Oshkosh offense. Huge advantage playing a game last week for Oshkosh, where this is the Thunder's first game. And the Thunder have really only had one scrimmage. They scrimmaged Olivet Nazarene, but they did it 2 weeks ago, having only practiced for 6 days. And the NCAA rules on practice makes the Wheaton Thunder team, because this is their opening day, they reported about a week to 10 days later than almost every other team that played last week. So a lot of practice and game experience for Oshkosh that the Thunder are still catching up to. That's a big imbalance. But this Oshkosh offense is loaded. You know, it starts really up front for them. They have a talented offensive line, and their big offensive tackle is second-team WEAC. He's a 6'6" junior, 323 pounds. Some NFL teams are looking at this guy. Really a good player.
Receive. Which goal do you guys want to defend?
And
okay,
you know,
backs around.
We're doing the coin
Wheaton
flip here.
Will receive to start the ball game. All right, gentlemen, shake hands and enjoy.
So Wheaton gets the ball to start, but this Oshkosh offense is going to go as number 3 goes. That's the talented quarterback, Kobe Berghammer, second-team All-WEAC last year. Threw for 2,437 yards, completed 57% of his passes, 25 touchdowns on just 7 interceptions. But he's also their leading rusher. Last year was their leading rusher. He had almost 100 rushes for close to 600 yards. And 11 touchdowns, and he rushes the ball for about 60 yards per game, which is 6.2 yards per carry. That's close to what Geo Weeks runs. He doesn't run it a ton, but they're gonna plan to run 7 to 12 times called runs for Berghammer. He also is a great thrower, strong arm. He likes to sit in the pocket. Doesn't throw that well on the run. When he takes off running, he likes to run. Not a great thrower on the run, but he sits back in the pocket. He's got 2 talented receivers, Tony Steger and Trey Tesloff. Are both Tesloff first team All-WEAC last year, and Steger second team All-WEAC. So some great players, new players at running back, but a couple guys that are back have had some carries, but no starters. Talented offense.
Just get this one underway here from McCauley Stadium. First matchup between the Titans and the Thunder. And after 294 days, football back here in Wheaton College. Glad you're with us wherever you may be. It'll be Evan Mobley to send it away for the Titans. And let's roll. Back deep to receive. And taking it to about the 28-yard line. Jack Allen will now bring up Ben Thorson, former younger brother of Clayton Thorson. As you said, played at Northwestern from 2015 to 2018, set multiple Big Ten records. Bounced around the NFL with the Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants. Was last seen in the USFL with the Houston Gamblers, and now his younger brother makes the start. From the 26-yard line, it'll be Thorson under center, and they'll start off with a handoff. It's Giovanni Weeks. Weeks plowing his way forward. And it looks like they'll stop him about the 30-yard line.
So this Wheaton offense, talking to Jesse before the game, going to be real comfortable trying to run the ball at these guys. If they can run the ball every snap on this opening drive, that's what they're going to do. They started under center because they had some center quarterback exchange issues during the scrimmage, and they want to just make sure they got off to a solid footing here with Ben Thorson making his first start.
Gain of 4 on first down, second down, and 6. Again, they will go. Giovanni Weeks dumped behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's T. Santiago, the outside linebacker, confusing Wisconsin-Oshkosh defense. They run a 3-4. They have 4 linebackers. They move them around. They try to get you into assignment problems where you can't identify these people, who they're supposed to block. That time, T. Santiago got in and tackled us for a loss. Big third down.
Third down and 8 from the 29-yard line. Trips to the bottom of your screen.
Not a big pressure team. They'll bring 4, generally 3 or 4. Bring just 3.
Here's Thorson looking to throw. Fires past in traffic, and it will be incomplete. It was intended for the junior Ben Bonga, and will force an early 3 and out.
And the outside linebacker, Rick James, was sitting outside there, and I don't think Thorson saw him, and he came in from the outside on that curl route and got his hands on it, almost picked it off. And that's the one thing you got to be very careful of. That's what this defense does, is they read the quarterback's eyes. So if you lock in on a receiver, they're good at pattern reading, reading the quarterback's eyes and breaking on the ball.
It'll be Mateo Jesh, the transfer from Anderson University, to punt it away. As that punt will go out of bounds, we'll see where the referees spot it.
At the 44-yard line, it looks like to me. Yeah.
So now bring on the Titans offense, as we said at the top of the broadcast. Just a talented core of Berghammer's Tetzlaff and Steger. Despite all the changes, those are the guys that ultimately keep the engine running for the Titans offense.
Big early test for this young, talented Thunder defense. You're going to see Max Wilson mostly locked up man-to-man into the short side of the field, number 12.
Here's Berghammer looking out of the pistol. Off the play fake, has time, now flushed out to his right. Berghammer going to take off and run, and he will get to about the 48, slide down to the 49.
So when Berghammer, he likes to sit in the pocket. When he does scramble, which is about 35% of the time, he goes to his right almost 90% of the time. So when you're a rusher on that side and he gets pressure, you got to make sure you keep him in the pocket, because he's not a great thrower out of the pocket, but he can hurt you with his legs. This offense, real similar to that Bethel offense we faced in the playoffs last year.
Second down and 8 from the Titans 46. Berghammer dropping back to throw once again. Fires pass in stride, and it's going to be caught into Wheaton territory.
A little bit short of the first down. It's going to bring up 3rd and short.
It was the tight end Clayton Schwabe, who's named D3Football.com to the D3Football.com Team of the Week after an impressive performance, 5 catches, 73 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Titans fans will remember him. He wore number 85 last year, changes to number 7 And now brings up 3rd down and 1 for the Titans.
Extra tight ends, 2 tight ends to the bottom of your screen here, stacked up with a pistol look with Berghammer and the running back.
Thunder trying to get on their feet and trying to get a 3rd down stop. And they'll hand it off inside. Oh, a big hole. And it's going to be a 1st down from Doug Tranel, the sophomore out of Yorkville, Illinois.
Yeah, that's going to be the challenge when if you bring pressure up the middle, you create seams in the running game. And they brought a linebacker down the middle, and those big offensive linemen, boy, if they get on you, they're going to double team you and come straight ahead. And this is not a big Wheaton defense in terms of linebackers and defensive ends. 2 tackles that are good size in Ferlita and Bonaquisti.
So from the 41-yard line for the Titans, there's a quarterback, Berghammer. Another handoff inside. It'll be back to Tranel, and he'll get it to about the 40-yard line, I believe. A gain of about 1.
Nice job there by the 2 defensive tackles, not getting pushed off the ball. Parrish got in there and got a hand on him as well, and then Hagler came in and cleaned it up. Nickel package now, bring a linebacker out. Extra DBs in this 2nd and long. This is a passing formation, this 3-receiver look for Oshkosh. Timeout by Oshkosh. They want to talk about it.
Oshkosh, their first timeout this half.
And they may have gotten surprised a little bit. You know, we substitute a nickel package based on personnel, and they weren't maybe prepared for that. They have some tendencies, Oshkosh's offense, when they go kind of 3 wide, which there was 4 wide, they had 3 to the top of the screen and 1 to the bottom. That's a pretty strong passing set. 2nd and long, Wheaton substituted nickel package, put an extra DB in there. Oshkosh wants to talk about it. So first drive for Oshkosh here after Wheaton goes 3 and out. Oshkosh gets the first down. They're in a 2nd and long in Wheaton territory. So big opening possession for both teams. This is a huge game for both of these teams who have teams that are one team above each of them picked to win their conference. So this is almost a de facto playoff game if you start to think about Pool C, which is the at-large bids for playoffs at the end of the year. The result of this game will weigh heavily in that consideration at the end.
And the Thunder playing the same conference that North Central is defending national champions, #1 ranked team in the country. Here's Berghammer rolling to his right, on the move, and the pass is going to be caught. It's Tony Stager, dropped out of bounds, but not before getting the 1st down, which moves the chains.
Stager, one of their top receivers from last year, comes in with 45 catches last year for 567 yards and 8 touchdowns. Last week, he had 5 catches for 140 yards and 3 touchdowns. 3 of the 7 touchdowns that Berghammer threw for went to number 11, Tony Stager.
And those 144 yards and 3 touchdowns, career records for Stager. One of the 2 talented receivers, as we said before, on this Titans offense. Thunder showing blitz. We'll see if Coach Nightingale wants to bring it. And it's once again Berghammer looking to throw, feels the pressure, able to escape, and there goes Berghammer inside the 20, still on his feet, and finally dropped at the 15-yard line.
And that's the rub. They had numbers on the blitz, and you just didn't bring them down. You had them in the backfield. But Berghammer's a great runner. He's a big, strong kid. He's 6'2", 190 pounds, and he runs like a running back. He does not go out of bounds, and he doesn't go to the ground.
As you said, led the team in rushing. Look at this formation.
It's a screen up to the top.
And here's Berghammer looking to throw for the end zone. The pass is caught. Touchdown. It's Trey Tetzlaff in for 6.
Yeah, so they set up 4 receivers to the top. You'll see on the replay, and they run a little bubble screen out there, but then they got single bump and run coverage to the down below here. Riley Schwartz against Tony Steger, which is a matchup the Thunder like, but Steger wins that one, and Berghammer puts it in the exact perfect spot. Opening touchdown for Oshkosh.
And the Titans lining up at the swinging gate formation. This is what they like to do. This is what they did against East Texas, trying to see if they can catch the Thunder off guard. If they can't, oh, it's a snap. And a flag on the play. Absolute confusion. And looks to go
Ball
against
start.
the Titans.
Offense. 5-yard penalty.
So they're trying
Still
to
try for untimed down.
They're going to line up and kick a regular extra point here, but they're trying to get you misaligned, which for some reason the Thunder didn't understand what was going on, but this has been on tape. They've done this. They did this last year. They did it last week, and they thought there's some sort of automatic. They were misaligned, and so they thought they had an advantage. The center snapped it, but clearly the person receiving the snap was not ready for the ball. and somebody was moving.
Nolan Mobley will just try a traditional extra point. And
No good.
No good. Only a 6-0 lead for the Titans.
Well, it's good to have another team that has extra point trouble for once. As you know, Wheaton has had some trouble last few years in some key situations making extra points. We hope that that's been resolved this year. But Oshkosh misses the extra point. 6-0 lead here, with each team having one offensive drive. Again, this Oshkosh team is one of the powerful teams coming out of the WEAC in the Wisconsin Athletic Conference, Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. University of Wisconsin Whitewater is typically picked to win that conference, is picked again to win that conference, I think, by the coaches. Oshkosh has had some very strong teams in recent years. They have a new coach these last 2 years, Coach Johnson, I believe, and very talented coach, and they had a great year last year. So they're looking. There's some people who think they can win the WEAC this year. They're going to have a stacked schedule on the front end, much like the Thunder do. The Thunder play Oshkosh, then they go down to Wesleyan next week. They play Augie, who's in the top 5 in the conference, and then they play North Central here at home, all in September. So by the end of September, we're going to know a lot about this Thunder team. Oshkosh, similar schedule, stacked, playing Whitewater in September.
Gonna kick it off, send it back to the Thunder. And here is the return by Seth Koroven, and Koroven has some space, and he's going to be finally pushed out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. The transfer from Coastal Carolina making an early play.
Yeah, the coaches like Kortenhoven a lot. He played locally at Wheaton North, was a playmaker on that team, went to Coastal Carolina, tried to play, didn't like it, transferred back. He's been on this team. You're going to see him in the lineup here. You can see him. He's down at the bottom of the screen lined up here. Tall kid, 6'2", 200 pounds. He's a playmaker.
So Thorson now on for a second drive, looking to get something here. After their first drive went 3 and out, and will feed it inside. Giovanni Weeks right in the wave as he takes it to about the 43, 44-yard line.
Great push there. Just a strong offensive line push where you're just double teaming at the point of attack. Jesse Scott loving to see that. You just see Weeks is 6 yards down the field before he's touched. He comes into defensive ends collapse from the outside. That's the push they want. If they can get that all game, you're going to see a lot of that play.
Second out and 3 from the Thunder 44-yard line. As Thorson out of the shotgun, RPO pass to the outside. That's going to be caught in stride and still going down the sideline. And finally pushed out of bounds. I believe that's Ben Bonga, and it is.
That's another play against this defense you're going to be able to get a lot. Out to the field, they're going to make you make that throw. Thorson's got a strong enough arm to do that, and that's Bonga, who's an all-conference receiver for the Thunder, their leading receiver from a year ago with 51 catches and 5 touchdowns. Easy pitch and catch, breaks a tackle, and makes a big play out of it.
Presumably the #1 receiver entering the depth chart for the Thunder, and now operating at the Titans 33. Here's Thorson rolling to his right. Thorson on the move. Pass is caught once again. Back-to-back receptions to Ben Bonga, partner.
Great throw, moving out of the bat, moving out, a little play action. They're trying to get run action to the boundary and outnumber you, outflank you to the field. They got a guy running levels, a guy in the flat, and a guy running deeper. Bonga runs the deeper route. Great throw on the run by Thorson, very impressive. Thunder in the red zone.
So now operating at the 16, great opportunity for the Thunder as Thorson lines up under center. And they'll give it once again, Giovanni Weeks lower in the shoulder. And he's going to be brought down by a swarm of Titans, including Jared Sad.
So Oshkosh on their 3-4, they like to line up in what's the old Chicago Bear defense, where they kind of cover the 3 interior linemen with this 3-4 down in the red zone. So you'll have the center and both guards covered, and then a mix of different linebackers lining up on the outside. Against this spread set, it's not quite as pronounced.
Second down and 7 from the 13, and again they'll give it inside. Giovanni Weeks inside the 10. He rumbles. And will set up first down and goal.
Close. If they give it to him, it's very close to the first down. Big spot here. They're going to mark it as a 3rd and short, it looks like. About a yard to go. Big play here early in this game. 7:45 to go in this first quarter. Oshkosh scores on their first possession, misses the extra point. This is the Thunder's second possession, knocking on the door.
So it is 3rd down and 1, as you said, from the 7-yard line. 1 yard for the first down, 7 yards for the touchdown. They will give it to Weeks. Weeks inside, and
down at the 1.
They will mark him down at the 1. Oh, so close. to getting in.
They're going to try to go quick on a quick count here.
Trying to catch the Titans defense off guard. There's currently Giovanni Weeks in the backfield once again, and it's going to be a quarterback sneak for Thorson.
Yeah.
He's in for the touchdown.
Great call there. Both of those, the setup on the previous play on the 3rd and 1. You know, they have 2 tight ends in. They motion the 1 tight end from the short side down into the formation. They take Ben Juska, the first team all-conference tight end, to the top, and they motion him out, which takes the safety away, and which is the run support right there. And then Weeks gets the ball right in that spot. So great play design to get your best players in a position to make a play, to get them down to the 1, and then a quick snap quarterback sneak, just power up behind that big offensive line. You're talking Trevor Gabriel, Paul Fay, Nick Beard up in the middle of that line, along with Kingsbury and Elijah Nitz. Just toe-to-toe, wedge block, get Thorson in. So Thorson scores his first collegiate touchdown on the run, and the Thunder have a great response to the opening touchdown and take the lead by virtue of making the extra point, which is a good thing to see.
Early 7-6 lead. We knew this matchup was going to be tough. Top 25 teams, as you said, huge playoff implications. And partner, I was a little bit surprised when you said that the Titans, you believe that they're the favorites despite being the lower ranked team.
Well, some people think they're a favorite. You know, I follow a guy on D3. He's on Twitter, Logan Hansen, and you can look him up, HansenRatings.com. And he has very quantitative ratings. He has Wisconsin-Oshkosh as the number 4 team in the country. And based on my analysis, watching film and everything, I think they're potentially a top 10 team. They've got a lot of talent on this team, and I don't know if they're better than Whitewater. Whitewater's playing St. John's today up in Janesville in Wisconsin at home. St. John's had obviously that overtime thriller win last week against Trinity. All 3 of those teams I just mentioned are top 10 teams. Oshkosh and Wheaton both trying to get in that conversation. Both of them ranked in the teens right now. Both of them would love to be in the top 10.
Kobe Berghamler will get another shot at it, trying to retake the lead. It'll be London Little back deep to receive for the Titans. And Little going to let it go into the end zone for a touchback. And so here comes the Titans out on their 3rd drive of this game.
We love a touchback. And speaking of the St. John's Whitewater game, it is underway. And in the first quarter, Whitewater takes the early 7-0 lead amongst the top 25. And outside of that, you know, we have this Wheaton score. Randolph Macon is ahead of is tied with Catholic. Randolph Macon's in the top 25. That's former Wheaton running back Pedro Aruza's team. He's the head coach there. Great guy. Carnegie Mellon out big on St. Vincent. River Falls, Wisconsin River Falls is ahead of Ohio Wesleyan 31-10.
So here is Berghamler from the 25-yard line. You have Tony Steger lined up in the backfield.
Delay of game. Offense, number 3. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Yeah, a little bit different personnel. They're putting Steger in the backfield. They don't have a ton of, they have some new running backs, the Titans do on offense. And I think they're trying to sort it out. I don't know if this is a specific play design where they want to get him out in the flat or get the ball to him in a swing pass, but they like getting the ball to Steger in space.
Kind of reminds you of Debo Samuel for the 49ers, that flex back formation, and they'll give it once again. It is Steger trying to get to the outside, and we pushed out of bounds.
He got back about 2 of the yards that they lost on the penalty. So they're just using his speed to get to the perimeter there. One thing these Oshkosh receivers are really good at is blocking on the perimeter, and I think it's an underrated skill. When you can turn 6-yard gains into 20-yard gains if your receivers know how to block, and you're making defensive backs defeat blocks to make tackles.
And typically receivers not known for their blocking, but when you can find them, they are really valuable in an offense. Just look at Julian Edelman for the Patriots, as well as Cooper Kupp for the Rams. Second down and 15 from their own 20. Here's Berghamler in stride. It is Tony Steger who had the catch, but immediately dragged down.
That's a great tackle there by Clayton Reeves to close on him, because if he doesn't break that tackle, that's a first down. So huge to bring up 3rd and long. Now you got 3rd and 12. Again, Wheaton substituting to get into their nickel package. A couple extra DBs in the game here. They're going to go with a 3 down lineman front.
Clayton Reeves, a 5th-year senior out of Lubbock, Texas, coming once again back to his old team. Third down and 12 now for the Titans. Must get to their own 35 for the first down. Here is Berghammer. Berghammer flushed out to his right. Dials up the deep ball downfield. Wide open and inside the 30. Oh, what a juke. Still going and finally brought down inside the 20.
Huge mistake there by the Thunder, letting somebody get deep in that situation. That's Riley Schwartz, who had deep coverage on that play, and they're just playing a zone. And so your job in a zone is to be deeper than the deepest, and that was a mistake there. Same formation as the touchdown.
London Little made the catch. They will this time go out to the screen far side. That's going to be caught and bumped out of bounds.
So it's an option for Berghammer there. He's got the wide receiver screen into the short side. He's got man-to-man coverage to the wide side. You know, if they're going to get man-to-man, they're going to take their shots. They're winning those battles early in this game so far.
It's now second down for the Titans. By the way, going back to London Little, only had 6 catches all of last season, Ari, with his first and a huge play. With now
Steger's in the slot here, and they're bringing pressure.
Second down and 4 from the 10-yard line. And here's Berghammer, quarterback sweep to the right. Berghammer. And he's going to be brought down inside the 10. We'll see where they mark him.
It's one of those design quarterback runs, just a sweep into the boundary. They're trying to get the secondary players out of there, and that big offensive line behind John Sugar, that big offensive tackle on the right side. A design quarterback run, and Berghammer is a running back when he runs the ball. He doesn't run out of bounds. He doesn't dive to the ground. He will run as a running back does, and he likes to be physical, and he's talented. He's their leading rusher from a year ago, was their leading rusher last week. Last week he had 42 yards on just 7 carries.
Kind of reminds you of Josh Allen in the NFL. Here's Berghammer. Pass is going to be dropped. And oh boy, if he caught it, he might have walked into the end zone. That was Clayton Schwalbe.
Yeah, Schwalbe's a guy who's listed as a fullback. He played tight end last year. They put him in the backfield a little bit. He also plays what's called an H-back, which is like an offset tight end. He goes in motion, but he's a lead blocker. Last year he had 9 catches the entire year, and last week he had 5 catches in their first game. So they like getting him the ball out of the backfield there. He would have had a touchdown. That's just a drop.
Second down and 5. We'll see if Schwalbe can redeem himself. Thunder trying to only force a field goal after allowing a big play.
Man-to-man. Bringing pressure, it looks like.
And it looks like a timeout. It'll be taken by
Wheaton.
the Thunder.
Their first this half.
Jesse didn't like the matchups based on that motion right there. They had Steger in the backfield, who then shifted out wide outside the tight end, and by assignment, you had a linebacker on him, Clayton Reeves. And as soon as Jesse saw that, he does not want Clayton Reeves on Tony Steger down at the goal line, sure. So he called timeout to make sure they got in the right matchups and to talk about it. Good job by Jesse actually there to keep from what would be a significant advantage.
So as we said before, both teams ranked in the top 25. The Thunder 13th in the country. Meanwhile, the Titans ranked 19th. That's their 3rd straight season ranked in the top 25. And as they're projected to finish 3rd behind UW-Whitewater and UW-La Crosse. Meanwhile, the Thunder projected to finish 2nd behind North Central, defending national champions from a year ago.
Bunch of big top 25 matchups today. Bethel-Wartburg are playing at Bethel. That game is tied near the end of the first quarter. St. John's-Whitewater. Whitewater still with a 7-0 lead. La Crosse is hosting Hardin-Simmons. That game 0-0 in the first.
So second down and 5 from the Thunder 5. It'll be Berghammer with an empty backfield. Looking to throw for the end zone, and the pass is incomplete.
Riley Schwartz had coverage on the slot there. That's number 88, London Little, who is one of their backup receivers, but super talented. He's just a sophomore. He's 5'9", 150, and Schwartz had him. Berghammer had him open, but he threw a little bit of a soft looping pass. Schwartz was able to catch up at the last second. He reached his hand out and got it in there to break it up. Great job by Riley Schwartz there. Bring up a key 3rd down.
Rikens Rowdies trying to get on their feet and make some noise on 3rd down and 5. Titans would not like to settle for a field goal given the excellent play that got him there. And once again, an empty backfield for Berghammer. Looking to throw. Berghammer lobs it for the end zone. Incomplete.
A little high. He had him. They had Schwalbe coming across, lined up at the tight end. It's just a combo route there. He lines up at the tight end. The running back is running a little inside route, what's called a swing route, and then just run to the flag. Is Schwalbe had him open. He just didn't, threw it a little too far. You know, Bergheimer's a great quarterback, but in the pocket, he completes 57% of his passes. That's okay. That's not great. The top D3 quarterbacks, if you remember a year ago, we had Will Bowers, who was one of the top 5 in the country, and he completed close to 70%. He was at 68, 70% of his passes, which you really want top-level quarterbacks to be in the 60s in terms of passing percentage. Bergheimer's a great player. He makes great throws and great passes. He's not, I wouldn't call him an elite passer at times from the pocket for that exact reason. He had a wide-open kid who he just overthrew. But the play before that, he had a wide-open kid, put it right on his hands, and the kid dropped it. So it works both ways. That goes as an incomplete for the quarterback, those 2 plays. But and then the one before that, Riley Schwartz got his hand there. He put a perfect ball on him, and Riley Schwartz just made a great play. So those are 3 incompletions, and only one of those is on the quarterback.
Owen Mobley's extra point field goal, by the way, was good. So the Titans have a 9-7 lead. And going back to Will Bowers from last year, the transfer from Liberty, he completed 76.8% of his passes, which just broke the record that was set by Jordan Roberts, who completed 70.3% of his passes back in 2012.
Yeah, if you're completing over 70% of your passes, that is really top level at this in Division III. That's incredible, especially with a program like either one of these programs. So, you know, Bowers was a special player, and we're hoping that Ben Thorson comes even close to that. He's had a good start today. So,
Titans going to kick it back off, and back deep to receive from his own 20, and going to be brought down about inside the 25. That was Jack Allen once again on return duties.
Yeah, Bryce Edwards in there on the kickoff coverage, so that Oshkosh using some of their starters on special teams, which a lot of the best teams do. And he caught Jack Allen from the backside, otherwise would have been a much bigger return. So let's see what the Thunder can do. This is their 3rd offensive possession, down by 2 points here.
Defense did their work, forced only a field goal. We'll see now what Wheaton can do. And they'll feed it inside. It'll be Giovanni Weeks. A whole lot of Titans there to swarm him. And Doug, you talked about in our Tuesday meeting how this defense, they were going to play physical.
Yeah, that's a physical front. It's a physical league. The WEAC league, the Wisconsin league, is one of the most physical leagues. It's the best conference in Division III from top to bottom, and they have 5 teams in the top 25. Really great conference, and it's known for physicality up front. These games are going to be won up front. We got a great offensive line. They have a physical defensive front.
Does this kind of remind you of old 80s, 90s football?
It does.
And it'll be a jet sweep going the other way, and a lot of room for the transfer, Seth Kornhoven. And he's going to be brought down across the 40. I believe they're going to mark him at about the 45-yard line.
Nice play there, trying to get all the action to Gio Weeks, coming back down to the short side, and a little jet sweep, kind of almost a mini reverse to Kortenhoven, who again is a playmaker. They're trying to figure out ways to get him the ball, and he's made a couple of good plays earlier.
So from the 45-yard line now, 1st down and 10. The clock dipping under 3:10. Ben Juska in motion, operating out of the shotgun, and now a flag. And it looks like a pre-snap penalty.
False start.
Lined
Offense,
up wrong to begin
number
with.
15.
And again, these are kind of the first week.
Still first
this is
down.
the type of thing that you get when it's your first game. And Oshkosh has a game under their belt. They worked out a lot of the kinks. You know, which formation you're supposed to be in, remembering all the plays and the sets and where you're supposed to be and the intricate motions. And you get some of these procedure illegal shift penalties, and, you know, 5 yards in a drive where you get to push the ball out towards midfield is a big deal. So you got to try to get this back.
And these penalties ultimately, especially pre-snap penalties, can be drive killers. Here is an RPO pass to the outside, and it's going to be caught. A stiff arm and finally dragged out of bounds. Once again, Kornhoven comes up with the reception.
Yeah, Kortenhoven is a good player. Again, he was a playmaker in high school. They expect him to be here. They're clearly designing plays to get him the ball. That's a simple throw. We saw this early in the game to Bonga to the left side of the offense, the top of the screen. The DB is playing off coverage. You're going to be able to get that play many times. You can throw it again right here up top if you want.
2nd down and 4. From the 49-yard line off the play fake. Here is Thorson. He's going to dial up the deep ball downfield. Pass is incomplete out of the outstretched arms of Caleb Tillerson.
Yeah, Caleb Titherington is one of the kids who's been a little bit of a surprise in camp, a sophomore coming out. That he kind of broke the starting lineup. He started the game, and they like him. He's got good speed. They just want to try to run him through that zone, get those safeties a little bit soft, and take their shot off play action. Not a bad call when you got third. Now you got 3rd and 4 to try to convert.
So 3rd down and 4, partner. Do you think this is 2-down territory?
No.
And so they'll hand it off inside, and it's going to be a 1st down.
Well, we don't need to find out. Fortunately, that's good. And at midfield early in a game like this, depending on what the result was, if it was 4th and 1, I don't know. Jesse's probably a little bit more conservative. Historically under Mike Swider, that would be a punt.
Now from the 43-yard line, and they'll hand it off once again. Carson, and oh boy, a whole swarm of Titans ready to meet him.
Yeah, we haven't talked much about Carson Radatz, who's the first-team all-conference safety. He might be the best player on the field on this Oshkosh defense, but he is a headhunter on defense. Their leading tackler a year ago, their leading tackler last week, and he is a playmaker. He had last week an interception, a fumble recovery, he had 8 tackles. He's near the line of scrimmage. He makes all the calls, but he's a great run defender.
2nd down and 7 with under 90 seconds to go in this 1st quarter. RPO pass to the outside. That's caught. It is Bonga, and it's Ben Bonga trussed out of bounds.
So if they give him the 1st down, they sure did.
It was Rick James who made the tackle.
Again, the soft spot of this Oshkosh defense is in the flat out to the wide side and often to the short side. You can throw those passes and you can get 5 yards at a little clip. We'll take it every time. So 1st down, knocking on the door, another push by the Wheaton offense.
So now from the 32-yard line with Ben Juska in motion. And they'll hand it off to Giovanni Weeks, looking for some space, and Weeks is going to be brought down at about the 34-yard line.
Yeah, had us outnumbered there just off the snap. Not a great play design, but Gio Weeks turned what should have been no gain or a loss into about a 2-3 yard gain just with his quickness. He put his foot in the ground and came downhill and put his shoulders down. Gio Weeks is big. He's physical, but he's also maybe the fastest guy in the field. He's 205 pounds and has exceptional speed. He outruns people. Great player.
1st quarter winding down, about a 2-second difference between play clock and game clock. And here is Thorson looking to throw for Weeks. Oh, what a grab, Giovanni Weeks.
Great play, and this is something they like to do, as we mentioned at the top of the show, get Gio Weeks involved both in the run and the pass game. And here he's just out of the backfield. He runs a wheel route, looking to the flat, and he turns it up on the linebacker. He's got Bryce Hinn. That's a mismatch. Gio's much faster, but he did a good job staying with him. And Thorson made a great throw on the back shoulder, and of course Gio just made a great recovery to turn and catch that ball. That's hard to do for a running back. That's a receiver type of a play. That's why Gio is such an elite player at this level, because he can make plays like that. Of course, Ben has thrown a great ball to his back shoulder, and those two made a great connection to get the ball into the red zone. So 2 players making a play there on 3rd down to give the Thunder a great chance.
And does Giovanni Weeks, when I see him play, kind of reminds me of Christian McCaffrey for the 49ers. He can both run, he can both catch out of the backfield. He can even throw the football for sake if he wanted to.
100%.
He's such a talented running back. And as you said, perhaps one of the best running backs in the country. And this season has a chance of becoming really special for Giovanni Weeks.
Yeah, he is a special talent that you do not see often at this level. And so the Thunder are privileged to be able to have him, for sure. So end of the 1st quarter, Oshkosh leads 9-7 on the back of a touchdown, missed extra point, and then a field goal. That's 2 of their 3 drives in the 1st quarter. And of course, the Thunder went 3 and out. They've scored on their 2nd possession, and this is their 3rd possession where they're knocking on the door here. So, in this 1st quarter, you have Ben Thorson with a good start, 6 of 9 for 131 yards, having a great first start. And, the Thunder just have 30 rushing yards and 131 pass yards, but their offense operating very efficiently here. See if they can convert.
Start of the 2nd quarter, they flip fields, and now from the Oshkosh 9, handed off inside. And it is Giovanni Weeks. Sorry, Christian Carson's on the carry. Apologies for that. And takes it down inside the 5.
Just power running game there again behind this veteran offensive lineman on the left side, Aiden Kingsbury, who was a transfer from Princeton, who been on the roster a couple years, getting his first start this year. The first team all CCIW, Paul Fay at left guard and Trevor Gabriel at center, and they're going to run behind those guys a lot.
It's now 2nd down and goal from the 5-yard line. Carson's once again in the backfield for the Thunder. And it'll be Carson's right up the middle. He's in for the touchdown.
Great blocking again right behind that big offensive line, going straight ahead. The Thunder like those matchups and the way Oshkosh plays defense. And another great drive for the Thunder. 2 of their 3 drives now resulted in touchdowns where they've taken the lead. A converted extra point's going to give them a 14-9 lead the start of the 2nd quarter. So Thunder offense off to a great start.
It'll be Mateo Jesh, a transfer from Anderson University, for the extra point. And it is good.
2 for 2, we love it.
Now back-to-back drives for the Thunder where they were able to put points on the board.
Well, what we said at the start at the top of the show when we talked about this Thunder offense, they've got skill players. They got Bonga, they got Weeks, they got the transfer Kortenhoven, they got Eggleston and Tetherington and Jack Allen, and a veteran offensive line. Jesse Scott had mentioned to me that this is one of the better offensive lines he thinks he's had here. Maybe not a lot of depth, but the starting 5 of Elijah Nitz, Nick Beard, Trevor Gabriel at center, Paul, who's a preseason All-American, Paul Fay at the left guard, and Aiden Kingsbury at the left tackle. Big, solid, well-coached. Jesse coaches the offensive line himself. He loves that group. This offense is going to go, because of all that talent, as the quarterback goes, Ben Thorson. Ben's first start today. He comes from a great family, a pedigree of quarterbacks. As we mentioned, his older brother started at Northwestern, played a couple years in the NFL. And Ben's off to a fantastic start, and that's going to result in have great results for the Thunder. You know, Ben starts this game he's 6 of 9, and you know, in the first quarter he was 5 of 7 for 79 yards, and he also ran the ball in for a touchdown. So Giovanni Weeks, 33 yards in that first quarter rushing.
Mateo just sending it back to the Titans, back deep to receive from inside his own 10.
That's Matthew, I think, is the returner there. Number 81, John Matthew, who returns kicks for them as well, along with London Little. Both of those kids are back there. Decent little return, gives Oshkosh a little more room. So Berghammer gets back to work here against this Thunder defense. You know, in the first quarter for Oshkosh, they had 15 plays for 131 yards. Berghammer was 6 of 9 for 131 yards. Thunder have 133 yards. So stats pretty even here at the end of the first quarter.
And Coach Jennings likes what he's seen so far from the offense. 2 drives and 2 touchdowns early on here as they hand it off inside and getting to about the 26-yard line. It's going to be Doug Trainell on the carry.
And that's Ferlita and Bonaquisti at the tackles that are trying to plug things up here. And they get inside, you know, they're trying to squeeze the middle. Again, this Oshkosh offense wants to come downhill as well and try to double team people. They got a veteran offensive line. Brian White is one of the better centers in the WEAC conference. Leads the charge up there, anchors that middle.
Tony Stager in the slot, 2nd down and 7 from the 26-yard line for Berghammer. And once again, he's going to... As you had Berghammer partially a lead blocker on that play and out of bounds. Bring up 3rd down.
That's Doug Burson on the carry, who's their starting running back, but they rotate a lot of guys in there. Bryce Hittner, Nate Smith gets in the backfield a little bit as well. And Oshkosh also has a freshman kid they like a lot, who will get some plays for them in the backfield as well.
That'll be Avery Kirk, number 31. It's now 3rd down and 4. Thunder trying to get off the field and force
pressure.
The first 3 and out.
Bringing the outside backer.
And they will bring pressure. A quarterback sweep for Berghammer. He's got the 1st down. Look at him show off the wheels. Still going and finally brought down to the 47 as the Titan faithful and gold and blue love what they see from Berghammer.
Yeah, you notice, as I mentioned, that Berghammer does not cut a bounds. He's a running back. You see he just breaks tackles. He runs through an arm tackle there. He puts his shoulder down, makes the DBs come. You got to put your hat on him. He's a tough runner.
From the 47-yard line, fresh set of downs for the Titans. on their third drive of this game as Coach Nightingale trying to get something from his defense. Another handoff they go and looking for some space and brought down into Wheaton territory.
That's number 19, which is I think it's, maybe I got the number wrong there. Not sure. We'll get back to you on that, but that's a great cutback run by him. Got the defense out of position a little bit. 5 yards on first down, or 6 yards, brings up 2nd and 4.
They officially ruled 2nd down and 5 from the Thunder 48. Another handoff goes and nowhere to go that time. The Thunder defense ready to bring him down.
Big 3rd down for the Thunder. 11:30 to go in the 2nd quarter. No team's really gotten a stop. The Thunder have punted once. Outside of that, both teams have gone down and scored on each of their possessions. Oshkosh with a touchdown and a field goal.
3rd down and 7. Must get to the 43 to pick up the 1st down. Here is Berghammer. 4-man rush. He fires in stride. Pass is going to be dropped. Incomplete for Tony Stager. That'll bring up 4th down.
Little bit of pressure on the push there from into his face. Maybe caused him to throw it a little bit earlier. Maybe not quite in sync with his receiver. That's a play those two usually make. And fortunate that it wasn't made, and they're going to have to punt here. Thunder are going to get it back, so great stop by the defense.
So it'll be Wally Rativ in for his first punt of the game. And back deep to receive, it is Riley Schwartz, defensive back. And able to get this one end over end.
Not a great kick off the side of his foot.
And will Schwartz choose to take it? He will not.
You got to run up and try to catch that on the bounce, even if you just fall on it.
Let's take a Titans bounce. That'll start the Thunder offense inside the 10. So a little bit of a miscue and mistake there by Schwartz.
Well, it's dangerous. You have to choose because that ball bounces weird. When it's on the ground, you can't. But if you go up to try to wait for a bounce, it can bounce into you and it creates a turnover. So you got to be conservative. I don't mind it, but you can also just, be a little more aggressive, and you could have saved about 10 yards there. But I don't mind the play. It's not really right. He's got to use his judgment there.
So we'll set up 1st down and 10 from the 8, and the pass is going to be caught in stride. It is Bonga, as Bonga gain tackled across the 10. I believe they're marking him about the 12 or 13. Depends on forward progress.
And that's that Oshkosh defense. They're going to give you that throw in the flat, and they're going to come up, attack you with 3 guys and try to punish you, make you cough up the ball. That's Bonga who comes in motion. They get it to him in the flat early. Again, easy measured throws for Ben Thorson. He's settling in now. They've taken a couple shots deep. He's managing the game really well at this point.
2nd down and 4 from the 14-yard line. And they'll hand it off. It's Giovanni Weeks on the carry as Weeks still going on his feet. Oh, look at him go. Weeks finally brought down to the 30-yard line. A huge gain on the ground game for Weeks.
Tough run there as he cut back. There really wasn't a lot there. They're really trying to come towards the play side. He gets cut back. He breaks a tackle in the backfield, makes a guy miss at the line of scrimmage, stiff arms a big linebacker, and then just outruns everybody to get the 1st down. And great play by Weeks. As I said, he's got speed and strength. He's got the whole package.
Currently 4th all-time in rushing yards. He has a chance to pass to become number 1. Here's Thorson looking to throw over the middle, and it's caught.
That's the All-American candidate, Juska, who you'll see him at the bottom of the screen here. He comes out like he's going to block, and it's a play action, and then he takes off running. Watch him come right here. Look, he's going to block the linebacker, and then he goes. He catches the safety, 26, gets behind him. Thorson throws a great ball right at when the DB's got his back to you. You throw it right at the DB's head and make the tight end turn and catch the ball. Great pitch and catch by those two.
Thunder hurrying to the line, an RPO and a handoff up the middle for Christian Carsons. Bounces off the tackle. There goes Carsons. Inside the 35, inside the 30. Carsons still going, and finally brought down to about the 21-yard line.
Wow, what a privilege to have a guy. This is your backup running back, Christian Carsons. What a great run. There's nothing there. They're trying to run up the middle here. He gets stuffed, and then he breaks it outside. And look at the 2 receivers come back into the picture and get into the block. Cortenhoven right there. what a valuable thing to have a guy transfer new to the program, gets downfield, makes a block, big play, Thunder back in the red zone.
So now first down and 10 from the 21 as the Thunder trying to add on to their lead after their defense forced a punt.
Got two tight ends here stacked to the bottom. Juska's at the wing in the backfield. They move the receivers out a little bit.
Here's Thorson. They fake the screen. Thorson looking downfield. Pass is incomplete. Crowd wants a flag, but I think the pass was uncatchable, so no flag comes out.
They're faking a wide receiver screen here. You can see the Bonga coming back, and they're trying to get Juska down the rail, but they were having none of it. The Oshkosh defense, again, they're designed to sit back and keep everything in front of you. It's going to be tough to get behind those guys today. That's the way they're designed. They sat back. They weren't fooled by it. That was a shot they were trying to take. The Thunder there, trying to catch them in man-to-man, and they weren't in man. They were in zone. It's a tough play to run against zone.
Sixth play of the drive, second down and 10 from the 21-yard line. They fake the run. Here is Thorson looking to throw for the end zone. Pass is incomplete.
Wow, they're going for Juska again, and they had the All-American Raditz on him. That's two great players. And Raditz was physical with him and bumped him off a little bit, which made this throw just a little bit tougher. Tough throw, but great coverage there, I thought. Even though it looked like he was open, the early work that Raditz did in coverage against Juska made that a much tougher throw.
So after two straight incompletion, and now brings up third down and 10. Thunder would hate to just stall out here near the red zone and settle for a field goal.
Three-man rush. There's going to be 8 people in coverage here.
Giovanni Weeks lines back up in the backfield alongside Thorson.
Now they're bringing him.
And here's Ben Thorson with the blitz coming. Lobs it for the end zone pass. It's incomplete as he caught it out of bounds.
He caught it. He saw it. Thorson saw it. He knew, and he's saying to the sideline, I should have put that on that rope, and he's right. He read the coverage exactly right. He saw the blitz coming. They disguised it as what was going to be a 3-man rush, an 8-man drop-in, which is what Oshkosh does a lot of. Oshkosh brought 6. That might be the only time you see them do that this game. And maybe the first half of the season, they don't do that very much, but they did there, and they forced them into a tough play. They just weren't able to make the play field goal attempt.
So it'll be about a 38-yard field goal from here for Mateo Jesh. And Jesh, the kick on the way.
No good.
And it's no good, so the Thunder come up empty after all that.
So after neither team doing a great job getting stops, they each come up with a stop here, and now Oshkosh is going to take over. About 8 minutes left, a chance to go down and try to tighten this game a little bit. 14-9 early, a lot of great drama, some players making plays on both sides of the ball. A couple great defensive efforts there from Wisconsin Oshkosh, as well as the Thunder offense to get them down there. This is going to be a chess match, so we'll see what Berghammer has and the Titan offense coming back out.
We haven't gotten a chance to introduce Coach Jennings of the Titans. He's in his second year with the program after a 6-4 year last year, and has his team off to a good start. Obviously beat Texas Lutheran last week off the heels of Berghammer. A little bit of razzle-dazzle. It's Berghammer keeping it himself, but nobody fooled on the Wheaton defense. They were ready to snuff that one out.
Great job by Johnny Eller. He saw it the whole way, and he put his hat right on Berghammer. And again, you want to try to gang tackle Berghammer when he's a runner, because that's what he's trying to make plays here. One note here on this Titan offensive line, it's led by John Sugar. At left guard, they got a new starter in today. Edwin Belke is starting at left guard in place of Max Schoening. Left tackles Eli Serget, the center's Brian White, right guards JoJo Nathaniel, and Sugar's at the right tackle.
Second down and 9 from the 22-yard line. Berghammer out of the flats. That's going to be caught and right near for the first down.
It's a play they like a lot. They ran that a lot last year, the running back out of the backfield. It's a player wearing number 19 out there. I think that's actually the freshman running back, Tristan Taylor, who wears number 12 in the roster. I think that's who 19 is. We'll try to get confirmation on that, but a little bit of a confusion. It's a freshman they like a lot out of Memphis, Tennessee, who got some plays last week, and they're going to try to get him into the offense as this season progresses.
And so third down and 2 now for the Titans. Wheaton going to bring some pressure, another handoff inside, and breaking tacklers and still going, and finally brought down to about the 39-yard line. That freshman that you were talking about, Tristan Taylor. So there is some confusion. Number 18 is either Sam Millen or Augie Marks, but likely not on the field because it's a running back.
Yeah, one's listed as a DB, the other's a wide receiver. I believe that's Tristan Taylor. They must have had a jersey problem. We'll try to get confirmation on that.
Tristan Taylor in our depth charts was number 12. So again, we will try to get confirmation. First down and 10 from the 39 regardless. Here's Berghammer after deep play fake, fires, pass picked.
There you go.
Intercepted on the play.
Great job by Max Wilson. He's got the tight end at the line of scrimmage, I believe. Let's see here. Yeah, he's guarding that tight end at the line, and then he just turns and drops back into the coverage. And they had a crosser who's wide open, and it looks like they got a crosser who's wide open between the zone, and that's what Berghammer sees on the play side. There's nothing to tell him there's anybody there, but Max Wilson, Thunder play combo defense or combo coverage. The guy into the boundary plays man-to-man. The tight end on that side that Max Wilson was guarding blocked. So he's taught to turn and drop back, and he dropped back right underneath that. Berghammer never saw him. So it's just it's a play design that it's tough for a quarterback to see that.
Wilson had 4 interceptions all last season, already has his first here, and they'll go on the jet sweep to the outside and looking for some space, and finally brought down. Caleb Tilderton was there.
Yeah, Tilderton, great run there. They like his speed. You saw him throw the ball deep in the first quarter to him on the post pattern there. They give him a little jet sweep action. It's a completed pass actually when the quarterback catches it and just flips it in front of him. That's considered a pass. So if it were dropped, it would not be a fumble, it would be an incomplete pass. But great blocking on the perimeter there as well.
See, the Chiefs run those a lot inside the goal line with Patrick Mahomes. Can contribute for a lot of those touchdowns during his MVP run. And meanwhile, Giovanni Weeks acting like the MVP for the Thunder as he plows his way inside the 30. And it's going to be at about the 26, 27-yard line.
Great blocking there, and he makes a guy miss. He makes a linebacker miss, which when you got a guy like Weeks and you have one guy who can bring him down who's responsible for that gap, he's going to make that guy miss a lot. He's going to make a lot of really good players look bad. And that was just a missed tackle by Oshkosh. Would have been at the line of scrimmage. The coaches pull their hair out on that stuff.
It's going to be a jet sweep to the outside and looking for some space. It's Ben Juska, the tight end, and he's going to be brought down near the 20.
Like what the offense is doing here, trying to get your best players the ball. Here's just a jet sweep, getting great blocking on the perimeter. You got the second tight end in the game there. That's number 32, Wojciech, who does a great job blocking to get Juska free, and then Juska does the rest and brings up a second and short. You can do a lot of things you can do in the playbook on second and short.
Gain of 7 on that last play. And now from the 20-yard line, Thunder would not like to squander this opportunity as they're blessed with another chance to add on to their lead.
Play clock running down here.
It's right now at 4. Let's see if Thorson sees it. They get it off in time. And Thorson going to keep it himself on the zone read. Almost lost it.
Hold on to it.
And he's brought down at the 20.
All right.
There'll be no gain.
Not a great play design, but you know, coaches tell you don't make a bad play worse. You knew the play. They had a blitz coming right into it. You knew it was bad. Just hold on to the football. Try to get back to the line of scrimmage. Live to play another down.
Yeah, as he was trying to keep it himself, he almost lost it. But as you said, very lucky to have it back and not force another mistake. So it's now 3rd down and 2 from the 19.
2 tight ends with Weeks in the backfield here, 3rd and short.
Have Ben Juska to the bottom of your screen, a quarterback sneak right up the middle, and it will be a first down.
Yeah, against this 3-4, you're going to have little bubbles on the defense, and that's what they saw. You can see over the right guard, a little bit of a bubble, a stand-up end. You see the defensive end, Javion St. Julian, is playing end, and he lines up over the tackle, but he's actually a B-gap player, but it creates a little bit of a bubble, and they knew that by scouting report. Soft spot, able to pick up the first.
So now 1st down and 10 from the 15. Juska in motion for the Thunder, and they'll hand it off. It is Giovanni Weeks trying to bounce to the outside. Weeks inside the 10. He will take it all the way for the touchdown, but there is a flag, and this one might be coming back.
They're going to get the freshman tight end, Griffin Kopp, for a hold on the perimeter here, and that's what sprung Weeks to the outside. We'll see, but if you extend your hands out there, that head referee, he sees that.
Holding, offense, number 87.
Yeah.
10-yard penalty.
That's
Still
Griffin
first down.
Kopp, who's a player of the Thunder. We love this kid. Freshman kid out of Nashville, Tennessee. Went to Brentwood High School. He's a 6'5", 220-pound freshman. You watch his huddle film. He's super aggressive in the run game. He's a good pass catcher. He's like a mini version of Juska. So talent of riches at tight end, but he got caught there on the play. It's too bad there.
And in our Tuesday meeting, we were mentioning how this guy was the best recruit perhaps from the Thunder. and a lot of potential perhaps later on in his collegiate career. It's now first and 15. Here's Thorson looking to throw. Thorson over the middle, pass caught, and a huge hit laid by Carson Raditz.
Yeah, he put the wood down and he led with his shoulder. It looks, you know, it's one of those plays you wonder how he
Officials
hit him.
timeout on the field.
Couldn't really see from the replay, but the big hit there on Giovanni coming over the middle there. You don't like seeing your best player take hits like that. He's gonna come off the field and take a breather. Fortunately, he seems to be walking off under his own power. But second and short here for the Thunder. Big possession here. You really want to try to extend this lead going into halftime with just about 3.5 to go before the half. You'd love to get this touchdown. This is a big play. You get 2 plays to convert here.
Second out and 2. Here's Thorson trying to buy some time, but he will go down back all the way at the 17-yard line.
Tough place to take a sack, but it's tough. He's trying to throw this ball early, but they got 4-on-3 out wide, and then the linebacker jumps the running back was his outlet. He had nowhere to go with the ball. So, you know, you don't want to take a sack. You either got to throw that through the back of the end zone, which you have to make that play after that first or second hitch, or you're going to get sacked. Unfortunately, he didn't try to do anything big with it or turn the ball over, so they got a chance here on 3rd and 10.
Curtis Kakouzi making his first career sack and a huge play on second down. Now it's 3rd and 10. We're going to try to set up a screen inside and brought down inside the 10. It's
probably not enough here. I think he's going to kick the field goal.
It was Ben Juska who made the catch.
That's Juska on the tight end screen. They have him lined up as a wing. They let the guys in, and great job by the Oshkosh defense. I think that's St. Julian, the defensive end, falling back in to make that tackle. Otherwise, that's a first down and maybe a touchdown because they had it blocked up on the perimeter or down the field. So, again, great hold here by Oshkosh defense. The play before they covered them, did a great job, not giving their defensive line time to get to the quarterback. And then right there, defensive lineman making a hustle play to keep him from the first down.
26-yard field goal on the way, and this time it is perfect for Mateo Jesh. Now 1 out of 2 on the day.
It's going to leave about 2 minutes left here. So the Thunder take the interception. They go down and they get points, which is great. That's what they wanted. They wanted to get 7, but they got 3. They'll take it. There's about 2 minutes to go till halftime, and we'll get Berghammer back out here again in the 2-minute offense and see what these guys can do.
And at halftime, stay tuned for the presentation of the Jocelyn Trophy, which will be given to Tyson Cruikshank, a legendary career here as a basketball. And the video highlight tribute. That's all coming up on the halftime right here on the Wheaton Thunder Sports Network. And also, Timothy Financial Council is proud to support Wheaton College Athletics. Their offices in Wheaton and Chicago have financial planners who are very invested in the Wheaton community and want to help their clients plan for the future. Interested in learning more about how hourly financial planning can help you? Check out their website at timothyfinancial.com. 2:03 left to go here before the intermission. We'll see if Berghammer has one more drive to perhaps tie things up as they're down by 8. Threw the pick on the last drive. We'll see what he can do now.
It's going to be returnable.
And returned from inside his own 10 and brought down to about the 27-yard line.
Pretty good coverage there on special teams. The Thunder have done a great job. Mikey Swider's the special teams coordinator. You'll recognize that name. He's the son of former head coach Mike Swider. Mikey played here, was a successful linebacker, is a great coach. And he coordinates all the special teams. He's had great coverage units every year that he's been coaching, and the Thunder have traditionally been very good on special teams. But great job there to limit the return and give Berghammer a long field here with just under 2 minutes to go.
So 1:56 now left to go for the Titans offense, down 8. Here's Berghammer with some pressure, delivers. Pass is going to be caught out of the backfield, and making the play, it's Tristan Taylor who's brought down. And now you start to talk about clock management. We'll see what both teams are going to do with their timeouts, partner.
Great job by Hagler there. They're trying to get an athlete the ball in space. This kid's got speed, and he just kept him in front of him while the rest of the defense ran to the ball, and he got help from his friends.
Titans going to the line, a little bit of urgency for him, and here's Berghammer looking to throw downfield. Pass is incomplete.
Wow, it's a cover 2 look to the field, which is a 2-deep safety in a rolled up corner. They tried to get the wide receiver behind, outside release behind him, and right in that window, he tries to zip the ball in there. That is a tight window, and it's a outhouse or the penthouse type of a play there. Last week, Berghammer made that same throw for a big play against Trinity Lutheran. And against this, the Thunder safety was there. Lucky it wasn't picked off.
So now 3rd down and 8. Now you're the Thunder. If you can get off the field now, you're thinking about adding on more points as they have 2 timeouts.
They're going to use one here. They didn't like that. Thunder were going to bring pressure. CJ Nightingale likes to put pressure on quarterbacks, especially in key situations like that. If he feels like he's got guys to do it, he's going to come after you. And he clearly wants to put pressure on Berghammer in that situation on 3rd and 8. And a lot of coaches don't necessarily like blitz. When you blitz, you leave something. You can get big plays against you because you're playing man-to-man, especially when you got 2 great receivers that Oshkosh has. The guy who's really been quiet today is Tetzlaff. That's a guy who had 4 receptions for 95 yards. Last week he had 42 receptions with one of their leading receivers, who's first team all WEAC last year, and he really has been pretty quiet today. Steger's had a big game so far, but Tetzlaff has been pretty quiet, and the Thunder defense has done a great job. Again, strength of this defense on the Thunder coming in is the secondary. 2 good corners. Schwartz has gotten beat a couple of times, but he's also made a couple great plays. Max Wilson is a shutdown corner, big tall kid down to the bottom of number 12. He's on Schwalbe, who's a tight end.
It's now 3rd down and 8 from the 29-yard line.
They're going to cover now.
Here's Berghammer, flushed out to his right. Berghammer able to escape for now. Now trying to run down the sideline, goes out of bounds. He's going to be well short of the 1st down. That also stops the clock.
Going to give the Thunder some time to run here. Thunder have 2 timeouts left. You remember Jesse Scott used one early in the game down on the goal line when Oshkosh had an advantage, and he used it to call timeout and reset. Now he's going to have 2 to work with here. Depending on where they get the ball, they get a chance to try to get something going here at the end of the half. 17-9 Thunder, minute 17 to go.
It's now 4th down. Punt coming from Wally Rativ.
Get another bounce.
They'll take it off the bounce, and here comes the return. Kornhoven still on his feet for now, and he's going to be brought down at the 40. Helmet came off of somebody.
That's one of the Oshkosh players. That's number 2 for them, who I think is the wide receiver 2, not the defensive line 2. That's Keon Grimes, a sophomore special teams player, also a wide receiver for their team. Got his helmet popped off. Not of concern. You have to leave the field for a play if your helmet pops off, but that's a special teams play. They're in good shape. So a minute 4 to go here. The Thunder with 2 timeouts and reasonable field position. Be interesting to see what Bowers and Jesse Scott come up with.
And the Titans do receive the ball to start the 2nd half, so if they can add on, it'll be a 2-score game. It'll make it really interesting in the 2nd half. As they'll start from their own 40. Here's Thorson with some pressure. Thorson, he goes down.
They brought the outside linebacker Hinn down to the short side. They didn't have him accounted for, and Thorson takes a sack. I wonder if that will affect what their calls are here.
So now under 50 seconds left. Thunder have 2 timeouts. Going to let the clock run a little bit, not with so much urgency now.
And you get a negative play there, and it makes you a lot more conservative. You might see like a draw or something. You see the extra tight end come in. They're just going to hand the ball off and be content going in at the half. If you get a play there and you get some yardage out to midfield, then you can be a little more aggressive. But Jesse choosing to milk the clock here.
So it looks like the Thunder will nurse an 8-point lead going into the break, barring anything crazy, as they take a knee. And the Titans not going to use their final timeout. Also going to let the clock run out. So early on here, a 17-9 lead for the number 13th ranked team in the nation against the number 19th ranked team, UW-Oshkosh. And partner, what are your reactions so far for the 1st half?
Well, I think the Thunder have done what they've wanted to do. They've managed the ball really well in their opportunities. I think their defense came up with a couple of stops. They've confused Berghammer on a couple of times. The interception was big to get that extra, and then going down to get the field goal. They also have some room for improvement. If you're the Titans, you're going in saying, hey, we shot ourselves in the foot a little bit, and we got to play better if we want to come out with a win. Going on the road in any league is tough, but when you're a team going on the road to a tough, top 15 CCIW team, it's a tough road game. So big test for Oshkosh. They got to go in and say, hey, we got to clean this up. We got to get our playmakers involved. I'd expect them to figure out how to get Tetzlaff more involved in the 2nd half. And And same with the Thunder. They're going to try to clean things up as well. It's going to be a ball game in the second half.
And so far for Ben Thorson, who's making his first career start, really solid numbers, 10 of 15 for 144 yards. 2/3 of his passes have been completed. Still looking for his first passing touchdown. Already has his first rushing touchdown, his first of any kind of in his career. Meanwhile, Giovanni Weeks, 11 carries, 64 yards, looking for his first rushing touchdown of the season.
And Carrie Harvey Cutter, the Director of Tourism for the City of Salem, Virginia, and Wheaton College President Phil Ryken. Harvey Cutter is representing the City of Salem and the Salem Rotary Club this afternoon. They are joined by recent Wheaton graduate Tyson Cruikshank, the 2023 winner of the Jostens Trophy. The Jostens Trophy is presented annually to the best male and female basketball student athletes in NCAA Division III by the Rotary Club of Salem, Virginia, and Jostens Incorporated. The winner of the Jostens Trophy is chosen by a national selection committee that consists of college coaches, former athletes, college administrators, and selected members of the media. The members of the National Selection Committee cast their votes based on 3 criteria: basketball ability, academic ability, and community service. Tyson Cruikshank was named the 2023 male recipient of the Jostens Trophy in addition to his honor as the NABC Division III Player of the Year and CCIW Player of the Year. He is the men's basketball program's second recipient of the award, making Wheaton College just the 3rd school to have 2 Jostens Trophy recipients. Since its creation, the Jostens Trophy has strived to honor the Rotary motto of service above self. Cruikshank modeled the perfect Jostens Trophy honoree as he excelled on the court, in the classroom, and in the community in his time at Wheaton. Cruikshank scored 593 points last season, a top 20 mark for Division III. He buried 90 three-pointers at an average of 3 per contest, totals that ranked 4th and 14th in the country respectively. He also created opportunities for his teammates, ranking 13th in Division III in assists with 155. In the classroom, Cruikshank graduated cum laude with a 3.65 grade point average in May 2022 with a bachelor's degree in economics. And in 2022-23, he worked towards a master's degree in global leadership. The perennial member of Wheaton's Dean's List earned academic All-America honors from College Sports Communicators in 2023. Cruikshank worked with the Wildlife Middle School Youth Ministry in the Wheaton area from 2018 to 2022. In May 2019, he was part of the Wheaton men's basketball team's sports ministry trip to Zimbabwe, helping spread the gospel through basketball and testimonies. And just this year, he and the Thunder men's basketball team took a sports ministry trip to Israel. At this time, Jan Slade will offer a few words on behalf of Jostens.
Is it echoing? On behalf of Jostens, I would like to congratulate Tyson on this big achievement. It's a lot of work going to college and being a student athlete and doing community service in addition. So he should be very proud. Family, friends, coaches, and teammates, congratulations.
And now a few words from Carrie Harvey Cutter on behalf of the Salem Rotary Club.
Tyson, on behalf of the Salem Rotary Club, it gives me a great deal of pleasure to present this trophy to you. I don't know where you're going to store this in your home, but I read the applications, and I'm on the committee that selects the final 10, and you were a great recipient. To put up with 8th graders for 4 consecutive years, you deserve a trophy. But on behalf of the Rotary Club of Salem, you're a great recipient for Jostens, and we're just pleased to give this wonderful 71-pound trophy to you.
We honor Tyson today with this beautiful trophy, which will be on display in Wheaton's Krauser Sports Complex, while he has also received a custom ring from Jostens to commemorate the award. Additionally, $1,000 has been donated to Wheaton College in Tyson's name from the Rotary Club of Salem, Virginia. Thank you to Jan Slade, Jostens Incorporated, Carrie Harvey Cutter, the Salem Rotary Club, and Coach Schauer for their support of the award in Division III men's basketball. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause to Tyson Cruikshank on this significant accomplishment.
definitely the best place, for me that I could have ever gone. I look back just making the decision to come to Wheaton. I'm so grateful, for everyone in that process who helped lead me to Wheaton. I feel like I've grown in just so many different ways, looking back to my freshman year, even just thinking about it now, to kind of where I am now, and really couldn't have asked for any better place to be. And honestly, again, it's a testament to all the people that I got to surround myself with every day here.
When I saw him play in high school, I came back and told Coach Banner, he clearly is talented enough, but he is so small.
Growing up as very short, skinny, kind of out-of-place point guard, I think that's really where you have to have a chip on your shoulder to know and go in that, I've put in the work and I deserve to be on the court here.
But to be honest, he wasn't the best player on his high school team, and then he wasn't the best player at Wheaton for 4 years. But honestly, very quickly into his first few practices, I could tell we had somebody pretty special. But he is, by all measure now, one of the all-time great players to ever put on a Wheaton jersey. But he's also going to be the type of young man that you can point back to and say, this is what a star player looks like, behaves like, and acts.
I think looking back early on in my career, I really was afraid to fail. And that's something that we talked about a lot, was throw all your dice out there, put all the chips out there, and don't be afraid to fail. And that's something that we kind of worked on together. And that's really what helped us gain trust. And for me, my past, 2-3 years, I was really able to play more free.
When you get a young man like Tyson, you realize you got something pretty special as a coach, because in a lot of ways, he became the leader of our team. And I just cheered a lot. He just became somebody who really embodies everything you want from a best player.
It's honestly such a great honor, and it's something that, I never really thought was on the table.
I do describe the Jostens Trophy regularly as the Division III Heisman for men's basketball. It really is in many ways the most prestigious award that is given out in men's and women's basketball at the Division III level. Not only measures the basketball ability of the men and women at Division III basketball, but also the academic and service of those individuals. So it's a total award that really encompasses not only just the talent level, but really the most outstanding student athlete in our sport.
The initial feelings were just of gratitude and thankfulness to Wheaton, to Coach Schauer, to Coach Panner, everybody who invested in me during this time.
I thought he was better than people probably perceived. The fact that he wasn't on any All-America lists, preseason lists, surprised me, given the career he had had to that point. And I think he kind of carried a little bit of that chip on his shoulder into this season and used that as motivation.
I'm not going to let anybody outwork me. I think that's really kind of where it comes from and stems from, is just wanting to win badly enough to where, you're willing to sacrifice.
One of the things I love about Tyson is he averaged over 5 rebounds a game, and he's not much taller than me. So he just simply was relentless to go rebound the basketball, and knew that given our personnel, that was going to be a potential area of weakness and that he needed to help us there. I honestly believe if I didn't show up for a week, Tyson would have made sure our team did exactly the same thing we did when I was there. And so his legacy will be brought up over and over and over again, whether I'm here or not, because he's going to be on the wall and that trophy's going to be downstairs. The academic reputation of the institution is so high that the students we get here are really self-motivated to do well academically. That matters to them. So they're typically pretty good students on our roster. And then because of their relationship to Jesus, there's a sense that we should serve others and try to model that as Jesus did.
Looking back on the Israel trip and Zimbabwe trip, those are two things, just looking back on my career, that I will never forget. The relationships that we built out there were just so incredible.
Go to the Holy Lands, we're going to do all those biblical sites and really study the Bible on that trip. And our trip to Zimbabwe, which Tyson also went on, we did clinics and did service projects, and we are going to visit historical sites and do some fun stuff in addition to playing some games. But we're going to do it in a different context than most Division III basketball programs.
There's just so many incredible things about those trips. Makes the whole time at Wheaton, and specifically a Wheaton basketball player, just so special.
All he cared about was winning, and that just makes life easy for a coach. Because if your best player cares about that and your best player has his work ethic, it's hard for other people to come up with too many excuses. They sort of follow because he's just such a great leader.
We need engineers who can come up with solutions to all of the multifaceted problems that we face in our world today. People who have the ability to apply math, science, physics, and engineering concepts to come up with solutions that might affect someone's life in the future for the better. One of the really special things about Wheaton's program is our focus on the liberal arts. So not only are students able to get a robust engineering education, but they're also able to participate in humanities courses, philosophy, and history courses as well. We think that a student who has that liberal arts background is more adaptable. We think that they are going to be more effective, and we think they're going to be more marketable. Through our 3-2 program, through our 4-year engineering program, all of our students get training on all of the equipment in our lab. Laser cutters, 3D printers, all the different hand tools and different machinery and equipment that our students might need to be able to create some sort of prototype. So they're not just solving textbook problems, but they actually are given some sort of real-life issue that they're trying to solve. That's when my students really see the importance of engineering and also why it's so important to fill their gaps in knowledge to be able to serve as many people as possible for Christ and for His kingdom.
When I first came to Wheaton, the ISP was one of the first offices I found. They helped me get settled in, from getting me a SIM card to taking me to the bank to open a bank account. They're very supportive of students whose families live overseas. From freshman year, I joined Mu Kappa, which is a club at Wheaton for third kosher kids, and we got together every Sunday to share a meal or have fun together, and it was a great place to find community. During my sophomore year, I started working with Mu Kappa as a publicity manager, and it was amazing to just see freshmen coming in and get settled at Wheaton and find community at Mu Kappa just as I did.
From psychology to business, health to history, Wheaton College offers 150 plus majors, minors, and concentrations, and 20 plus grad programs, all taught by world-class scholars who will mentor you, motivate you, and prepare you for the career you want. But the top-tier academic experience you'll find at Wheaton doesn't stop at career preparation. Here, we want you to think big picture. See the world through a Christ-centered point of view. Make connections between your faith and your interests and your studies. Pursue academic excellence, not at the risk of your faith, but for the sake of your faith. In the end, you'll have developed a vision for vocation and a passion for service, while strengthening your wisdom and character. That's what makes the Wheaton experience so profound and so long-lasting. It's a whole person preparation for your whole life's journey. They say the friends you make at college will be friends for life. We say the friends you make at Wheaton College will not only be lifelong, but life-changing. That's because Wheaton is a grace-filled, Christ-centered, fun community unlike any other. From talent shows to all-school communion, Christmas celebrations to hip-hop battles, you'll have opportunities every single day to express who you are and how you see the world, to lead, work, serve, and worship together, to define your convictions with peers and mentors who support and encourage you, and expect your friendships to last not only on campus, but throughout your life as part of a Wheaton family that spans the globe. This isn't just an educational experience. It's an unparalleled journey that you can only find at Wheaton. Whether you're on stage or on the field, serving the community or studying abroad, at Wheaton College, you'll find excellence and faith all across the board. Love bird watching, news reporting, or swing dancing? Our student-led clubs have you covered. Want to play your heart out? Our All-American athletics teams win championships, and our conservatory grads win Grammys. From our Black Hills Science Station or our Honey Rock Center for Leadership Development to our global programs in England, Spain, China, and beyond, you'll be part of an incredible experience where you can pursue your academic, athletic, and artistic talents and your Christian values. You can confidently choose Wheaton, not just to learn, but to live.
Welcome back to the start of the second half, presented by the Wheaton Thunder Sports Network, as the 13th-ranked Wheaton Thunder holding a slight 17-9 lead over the 19th-ranked UW-Oshkosh Titan. And a lot of eyes were going to be on quarterback Ben Thorson. Doug, how has he played so far?
Well, I think you'd have to categorize his first half as a pretty big success, as he's led the Thunder to 17 points, no turnovers. He himself is 10 of 15 for 144 yards. He was sacked twice, but each of those were situations where he didn't give up the ball, and he secured the football, which is what you need to do. The Thunder overall offensively controlling the game, and really when you think about these games, they're controlled up front on the line of scrimmage on both sides. The Thunder have a veteran offensive line, one of the very best that's played here. Coach Scott thinks highly of them. So 39 plays for 261 yards for the Thunder. As I mentioned, Thorson in the passing game, 10 of 15, 144 yards. Geo Weeks, it was the player that we expected him to be. He's got 11 carries for 64 yards, just almost a 6-yard average per carry. Christian Karsten's doing a great job on the ground, 5 carries for 40 yards and a touchdown. On the receiving game, the Thunder, Ben Bonga leading the way. He's got 4 for 54. Geo Weeks has 2 for 33. Again, out of the backfield, great receiving option. Ben Juska has 2 for 33. Caleb Titherington has a catch for 13 yards. On the defensive side, Lawson Hagler with 5 hits, Isaac Parrish with 4, Clay Campbell and Jaden Ferlita each with 3. For the Titans and Oshkosh, 28 plays, 181 yards. Berghammer on offense, 8 of 14 in the passing game with an interception, 110 yards and a TD. He had a 61-yard pass as part of his 110 yards. And then in the running game, the Titan offense ran 14 times for 71 yards. That's 5 yards per rush. Berghammer leads the way with 44 yards. Doug Burson has 14. And Tristan Taylor, the freshman, with 13. I suspect that Titans are going to want to focus on running the ball some more.
It'll be the Titans that receive the second half kickoff. And back deep to receive, it is London Little. He has some space. Little across the 20, and he's going to be swung down right at the 20. And Doug, we forgot to mention this before halftime, but under Coach Scott, the Thunder 18-1 when they lead at halftime. Meanwhile, for the Titans, they are 1-3 when they trail at the break.
That's a great stat. By the way, great tackle coverage again there. Clay Campbell, one of the DBs, is a senior out of Franklin, Tennessee. Lipscomb Academy made a great open field tackle on a talented return man there to hold them right around the 20.
And so Berghammer, very solid first half. Showed some why he's so good, but also a little bit sloppy at times. But now here to start the second half, and they'll start right up the middle. Oh, huge hole, and breaking free across the 40, across the 50, and finally pushed out of bounds. A huge first run that was. I believe it was the freshman Tristan Taylor.
Yeah, we tried to get confirmation. I think they made some late roster changes that the Titans did, and I believe that's Tristan Taylor, the freshman. And you know, this is not listed as a running back, this number, but I believe that's who it is.
So a huge play for him. Titans going quickly now to the outside, and it will be a gain of about 2. It will be Kobe Berghammer.
Yeah, just a 4 wide receiver set down low. They set up a wide receiver screen with a tight end set to the top, and Berghammer just doing a quarterback sweep. Probably an option for him to throw the screen or to keep it. He, again, is their leading rusher from a year ago. He's a leading rusher last week. He's also their leading rusher today, and so we expect him to have some design runs. And clearly Oshkosh coming out with a commitment to run the ball already in Wheaton territory after 2 plays.
44 yards in the first half for Berghammer on the run game. It's now 2nd down and 9 from the 43-yard line. Berghammer with some time, steps up from the pressure, now flushed out to his right. That's when he is so dangerous as he takes off across the 40. He's going to be brought down at about the 36-yard line.
Again, when Berghammer scrambles, which is about 30% of the time off of drop back pass, he goes to his right most of the time. And when he goes to his right, he often wants to run the ball. He's not a great thrower when he's moved off his spot. And so the Thunder want to move him, but they don't want to move him so that he runs. They want him to move and hopefully get him to try to throw, because that's where he's probably least effective. But effective there running the ball, brings up 3rd and short. Big play early.
3rd down and 2 from the 36-yard line. Early here in the 3rd quarter, they show pressure. They'll run it inside once again. It's Taylor who will pick up the first down inside the 30, brought down to about the 28-yard line. It's Andrew Parkia, this junior safety out of Jacksonville, making the play.
Nice play by that kid. You know, as looking at, I'm not sure that is Tristan Taylor, because this kid's a little bit bulkier, so we're going to try to figure it out. That's who we're referring to, but apologies for those who are watching who know the rosters are just wrong on this number.
1st down and 10 from the 28-yard line on the opening drive for the second half. And they'll hand it off once again inside, and plowing his way forward to about the 26, maybe the 25-yard line again is Taylor.
So the only other guy this could be is Kellen Mella, who's listed as a tight end, a sophomore tight end at 6'3", 223. But this running back is not 6'3". I can tell you that just from looking at him here. He's several inches shorter than Berghammer, and Berghammer is 6'2". So
now 2nd down and 7 from the Thunder 25-yard line. Here's Berghammer looking to throw some pressure, fires over the middle, and the pass is going to be caught.
That's Tetzlaff, and that's where they want to get. He had 1 catch for 1 yard in the first half. They want to get him more involved. He's one of their best receivers. He and Steger are their 2 best guys. So big early drive here for Oshkosh coming out of the break. 3rd and short here. There's probably 2 downs for them, I would guess.
Given how they're down by 8, would not be surprised to see if they go for it on 4th down. It's 3rd and 1 from the 19-yard line. As Berghammer trying to get him off the hard count. He's going to keep it himself on the zone read. Does he have the first down? He does. Oh, the ball comes out, and it goes out of bounds, I believe.
No, he came right back up to him. He dropped. It fell on the ground, and he just fell right on it. So lucky break there for the Titans. You can see on the replay, the ball just, the ball bounces all kinds of weird ways being its shape. If it hits on the end, it can kick anywhere. It happened to just be dead right when it dropped, and he was able to fall right on it. Fortunate for the Titans to get the first down and keep the ball.
Indeed, very lucky is Berghammer. Keeps the drive alive. 1st down and 10 from the 15-yard line now. Here's Berghammer. Throwing passes, though deflected. Incomplete.
I think that was Ferlita. He got his hand up. The big defensive tackle there. 6'2", 276-pound senior. Out of Rockford, Illinois. Went to Rockford Christian High School. I think he got his big mid up there and got it batted down. They had a receiver wide open in the slot for what would have been a 5 or 6 yard gain. So it brings up 2nd and long here.
And Coach Scott talked about Faria, having this edge that allows them to step up and to continue to make plays. It's now 2nd down and 10 after the first down incompletion inside the red zone. Burhammer with Sutton fires to the end zone, but the pass is going to be incomplete, too high.
He's mad at himself because he was wide open. Steger was wide open on the crossing route into the post there, and he saw him. And he didn't quite step off to his front foot, which when you short step that front foot, it can cause the ball to stale a little bit. You got to step into that throw. He had him wide open. He's kicking himself. Big 3rd down here, 3rd and 10. Nightingale likes to bring pressure in this situation. We'll see what he does here. He's showing a zone look right here.
Titans were 4 of 7 on 3rd down in the first half. Here's Burhammer, given time, lobs it to a wide open touchdown. It's Clayton Schwabe in for 6.
Yeah, that's an assignment breakdown. They were playing a zone, and I don't know where Schwabe was lined up. We'll see here on the replay, but I suspect he was delayed himself out as the tight end. And when that happens, when a guy stays in what looks like the block, a lot of times a linebacker will turn his eyes towards a crosser. That's where we got the interception on earlier in the game. You saw Max Wilson guarding the tight end. He turned his eyes back inside and got the interception. But if you turn your eyes back inside, you lose your guy. If he releases late, this is the type of thing that can happen. So not sure where Schwabe was lined up, but he's a tight end. He was lined up either as a slot or right there on the line of scrimmage. Going for 2.
Trying to tie the ball game. Oh, a miscommunication, and the ball is out. Now a throw, but he was down when he was tackled, so it's going to be a dead play, and it remains a 2-point game.
Yeah, trying to tie it up there and go for 2 after the missed extra point. And this is why extra points are so important, because it compounds later in the game. You got to, you missed an extra point early. It forces you to go for 2 to try to tie it instead of just kicking it to tie it. And now you've lost 2 points in the kicking game effectively.
And especially in a close game like this, you need all the points you can get, and easy miscues can really cost a team a chance to win. So the Thunder still with the lead, albeit 2 points.
So the Thunder are going to get their first opportunity in the second half here. We saw the adjustments. The Oshkosh comes out, takes the opening kick, goes down and gets the touchdown that they needed. More of a commitment to the running game. Looked like they had several runs in there, which was right. You look at the first half stats, and they're averaging 5 yards a carry, and they should run the ball more, and so they do. And they're clearly featuring Tristan Taylor, the freshman kid, a running back. I believe that's who that might be. Sorry, again, that we've had this roster mishap, so not clearly identifiable. Number 19 is the player who's carrying the ball in the backfield. But now the Thunder are going to get their chance on offense. We saw a great first half from first-year starter Ben Thorson, who's back as a senior, has been on the team for several years, knows the offense, had a great first half. Going to need him to start off strong here in the second half.
And here is the kick. And I'll go back to the Thunder into the end zone for the touchback. Meanwhile, Schwabe's touchdown catch caps off an 11-play, 79-yard drive. Only took 4 minutes and 8 seconds off the game clock. And now the Thunder offense back out on the field.
So kick into the end zone going this way. You can tell if you're watching on TV, the wind is blowing from your left to right, and so that's why these kicks are going in the end zone, going to the right, and the other way they're getting, most of the kicks are a little bit shorter because there is a pretty decent wind coming out of the east here.
So first down and 10 from the 25 for Ben Thorson. Very solid first half numbers. An RPO pass to the outside. It's going to be caught. Ben Bonga right up to the 30-yard line. He's immediately met, though, by Mitch Borovec on the play.
Again, we saw a lot of that in the first half. Just taking the soft coverage, getting it quickly to the receiver. Receiver puts his shoulder down. You get 6 yards on a first down play, which is effectively close to a running type of a play. You'll take that.
Jarrett Sapp was also there on the tackle for the Titans. Second down and 4 from the 31-yard line. RPO pass to the outside. It is going to be caught, and with a lot of space and still going, and finally out of bounds.
Same thing again, soft coverage up there. You got the slot receiver, Titherington. The outside receiver presses up. The inside receiver runs straight to the flat. The corner stays with the outside receiver. He's supposed to let him go and come off on that, on the inside guy coming to the flat. There was a mismatch there. Thorson, very decisive throw, accurate throw. He's done a great job, gets it to him, pitching a catch and a first down.
So now from the 45-yard line, back-to-back good plays for the Thunder, and a pitch to the outside. Oh, the ball almost a fumble.
Hang on to
Weeks able to hang on to it, and he'll lose yards because of it.
Yeah, that's, they're trying to get the jet sweep action and get the linebacker just one step, and that's all Giovanni needs. And if he actually catches that clean, he probably picks up a good chunk of yardage. But the ball dropping, again, when a bad play happens, don't make it worse. Make sure you're on top of that ball and then cover it up. Those guys are coming for you. You did a good job there, not making a bad play worse.
So 2nd down and 2 from the 43-yard line after the miscue on 1st down. Oh, another bad snap. Thorson has to go back, and he'll just fall on another disaster there for the Wheaton offense.
Well, that, looked like Ben just, the ball was just a little bit off to his side of him. And they had a lot of snap issues in the scrimmage against Olivet Nazarene, which was only their 6th practice or their 6th basic practice together. It was a hot, humid night, and so a lot of that could have been weather. But that was exactly the type of thing that happened. That ball should have been caught, but it was slightly off.
So now 3rd and a mile from the 29-yard line. They're just going to set up a screen with Christian Carson's blockers out in front, as Carson's going to be slammed down at about the 36-yard line, and it should bring on the punt unit for the Thunder.
Yeah, you're just trying to get some field position back to set your punter up to punt. You're just managing the game at that point. Again, at center for the Thunder, they have Trevor Gabriel, who's an All-American offensive lineman. He played guard his whole career. It's his first year playing center. And you expect some, miscues, but, bad center exchange. So 2 balls on the ground in succession is not a great start to the second half. And now they got to burn a timeout because someone who's supposed to be in the game is not in the game, and it's your personal protector, Karstens, who's supposed to be calling out the punt team. So a couple miscues coming out of halftime here, not what the Thunder want, but this is the type of thing you'd expect at the start of a game, not the start of the second half of a game you're leading against the number 19 team in the country. So Oshkosh in a position to take advantage here if they get the ball in reasonable field position. He's punting into the wind, so it's going to be a little bit tougher punting from his own, call it 38-yard line. You'd expect them to get the ball probably around the 30, maybe the 35, coming back. Good field position for Berghammer and the Titans coming the other way, depending on the outcome of this punt. But unfortunate start to the second half for the Thunder.
It'll be Mateo Jesh on for his 2nd punt of the day for the Thunder.
Steger's the guy back to return here.
He's known for his speed. Able to get it off cleanly and signaling for the fair catch. It will be down at about the 39-yard line, and that is where the Titans will start their 2nd drive of the second half.
So across D3, you got some other top 25 games. Number 18, Ithaca beats Endicott 20-17. Number 25, Salisbury losing to Muhlenberg 29-17. Number 22, Susquehanna beats Brockport 6-5. Interested to know how that happened. And some of the big games, River Falls, number 9, beating Ohio Wesleyan 37-10. And you've got Bethel and Wartburg in a baseball game 6-2 right now. Wartburg on top.
And they'll hand it off inside once again. It is Taylor. And he'll get to about the 40-yard line.
Whitewater, University of Wisconsin Whitewater in the WIAC conference with Oshkosh, tied up in Janesville 21-all against St. John's. That's a battle of top 5 teams right there. Big game happening up there right now.
And talking about baseball scores, I remember a game, Iowa and South Dakota State last year. Iowa won 7-3, but that was based off of 2 field goals and actually 2 safeties and a field goal. So no offensive touchdowns from Iowa last year. It's now 2nd down and 7. Here's Berghammer rolling to his right, fires on the move, and the sideline grab is made.
That's Tetzlaff again, getting back involved. As I said, it's hard to keep good players from putting their impact on the game. And great play action, trying to get them outflanked. Similar play to what Wheaton ran in the first half here. You got a deeper level and a shallower player, and you're reading the player in between. You're trying to get the flat player to pull up on the short guy so you can throw it in behind him. They were able to do that successfully. 1st down into the Wheaton territory.
So now from the 43-yard line, Tetzlaff to the bottom of your screen. And here's Berghammer looking his way. That's caught. Tetzlaff able to escape the first tackle. Still going, and he's going to be brought down at about the 40. Perhaps a gain of 3, maybe even 4 if the refs are generous.
Max Wilson was all over him on the break. You can see up aggressive on him, and he just needs to make that tackle on the backfield. But he slows him down enough to get help and they were only able to pick up about 2.5 yards there, bringing up a second down.
Again, with Titans offense, they love going to Tetzlaff as well as Stager, the top 2 receivers for Burhammer, as well as the ability to run the football. Second down, 7 from the 40. It's Stager in motion. Here's Burhammer. Pass is going to be dropped, though, and incomplete. It was intended for Stager.
Trying to get just a simple little possession route there. You got Tetzlaff driving off the ball to try to create a cushion there for Stager, and just unable to make the pitch and catch. We've seen that a few times today. It's surprising from a veteran quarterback receiver group that just simple catches like that can't get executed, but that's about the 3rd time we've seen it today.
Especially for Burhammer, he's a senior. Tetzlaff and Stager, they're juniors and seniors, so a lot of experience with each other. It's now 3rd down and 7 from the 40. Here's Burhammer going to step up. He's going to take off and run. Someone dragging a jersey, and he's going to be brought down about a yard or 2 shy of the 1st down.
Hanging on for dear life from behind there to slow him down and get the linebackers up there, and it's going to be a big decision time for the Oshkosh coach. He's going to go for it. Offense is staying out there. Now, they have done a quick kick with this quarterback last year where they try to get you off sides. He's probably going to do a hard count. You got to mind hold your water. And then sometimes they have done a quick kick before, but they may also be going for it. It's short down the distance here.
4th down and 3. As Coach Jennings opting to roll the dice for now. We'll see if he's bluffing or not. Now Tristan Taylor in the backfield, and they will go for it. Burhammer, given time, fires, incomplete. Nobody home, and it forces a turnover on downs as the Wheaton defense stepping up right there.
Great job there, and Nightingale did a good job disguising it. They're bringing pressure. They're bringing Eller off the edge. They didn't quite get him. They're trying to leak someone out, and then they're running a deep out to Tetzlaff, which was well covered by Schwartz out there. So the pressure and the coverage forcing an incompletion. Great hold by the Wheaton defense. Now the offense got to do a better job than they did on that first drive. Couple of mistakes, balls on the ground, having a punt. Now they want to try to get something moving here, coming out. See if we can get Weeks back involved.
It's now 1st down and 10 from the 36 after the turnover on down, and they will hand it off inside. And plowing his way across the 40.
And then again, you see Raditz from the safety spot come up aggressively and make that tackle. Weeks, though, with his speed and strength, able to drive forward, gets about 6 yards on 1st down. You'll take that in a running play all the time. Thunder having a hard time getting lined up here. Plenty of time on the play clock, though.
12 carries, 67 yards for Giovanni Weeks so far, still looking for his first rushing touchdown here in this game. 2nd down and 4, and once again they will go to Giovanni Weeks, picking his hole. Flag on the play as he's dragged down into Oshkosh territory, but we'll check the marker to see who it goes against.
Looks like we're going to get it's in the area of holding. It looks like, I don't know who they're going to get, but that's J.D. McKay, who's a senior tight end out of Florida, or Indiana, sorry. Floyd Knobs, Indiana, in there, and they got called for holding. I didn't see it, so I'm not sure, but the refs were all over, and he threw it right away. So
backs him up at the 34-yard line now. 2nd down and 12 for the Thunder.
Don't have to give up on the run here. You can still run it, depending on what you do.
And instead, they will look to pass here, and the pass is going to be caught on the ricochet. It is Giovanni Weeks from Ben Thorson all the way out to the 49-yard line.
Pass caught by number 30, Giovanni Weeks.
Wow.
That'll move the chains for a Thunder 1st down.
So could have been a disaster. Again, the linebacker turns with his back to him off the play action and is trying to look up the deep cut, and they get it to Weeks in the short flat, which is a great play, and he makes a good catch. Well, almost makes a bad catch, but then he makes a good one and gets the 1st down. So big
now
play.
From the 49-yard line, Thunder offense with some new life for now. A handoff inside goes Weeks, and he will get nowhere. Actually, it was Christian Carson's, apologies, on the carry.
Rush stopped for no gain.
That's Trent Rykoff there for the tackle with Oshkosh. Big defensive tackle, returning starter for them. Last year he had 9 tackles, including 1 for loss. Last week he had a couple tackles. He had half a sack and a quarterback hurry. So big, strong kid, sophomore, 6 foot, 254 pounds, doing a nice job penetrating and getting Weeks for no gain.
Carson's in motion. They will look his way on the swing pattern, and there goes Christian Carson's trying to get the edge, and he's going to be brought out of bounds at about the 46-yard line.
Kortenhoven blocking on the perimeter against T. Santiago, and Santiago wanted to hold, but I think he just was being physical with him. And, you know, I don't think that was a holding call, although he was complaining it was, but a great job blocking on the perimeter by the receivers again.
So now 3rd down and 4. Carson's still in the game. They will give it to him right up the middle. Carson's, it's going to be an awfully close mark. Where will the referees give him?
Jesse's pretty aggressive. It's going to be short. It's going to be 4th and 1. Jesse's usually pretty aggressive here. We'll see what he's going to do. He's got a 2-point lead early in the game. He's going for it. He's got the offense out here. So
first 4th down attempt for the Thunder. They were 12 of 17 last year, 70% on 4th down, which was first in the conference, 10th overall nationally. But operating out of the shotgun. 4th down. They hand it off inside.
Nope.
And
that's very close.
Ooh.
Very close. The guy down below here is giving it to us. He's motioning 1st down. Wow.
That was a very hard-earned 1 yard. And indeed, it is a 1st down for the Thunder.
That was a fortunate spot by the line judge down here. And the Oshkosh coaches are not very happy with it.
Yeah, Coach Jennings.
But that is his call. It's on this hash, so the line judge on the closer to the field is going to trump the one that's farther away, who's on the Oshkosh sideline. But either way, it's a 1st down, huge 1st down for the Thunder.
Yeah, Coach Jennings of the Titans not too pleased with the call, but the drive continues nevertheless. So now 1st down and 10 from the 41-yard line. And they'll hand it off inside once again. And a nice carry. It's Giovanni
Flag
Weeks.
down. I think you're going to get an illegal shift. He might not have had enough guys on the line of scrimmage. This is probably coming back.
Illegal formation, offense, 5 men in the backfield. Yard penalty, still 1st down.
Yeah, they had a hard time getting lined up, and Kortenhoven, who's the new guy up top, I think he's supposed to be on the line of scrimmage as the guy comes in motion. Either that, or it's Wojtacek, who's the backup tight end, was in the backfield in the slot, and he might have been on as the guy needed to be on as the guy came in motion. Either way, it's a miscue for the Thunder. Again, these are the type of first game jitters or miscues you're going to have that you got to just play through. It brings up a 1st and 15.
So now under 2 minutes to go here in a fast-paced 3rd quarter. From the 46-yard line, they'll set up a screen with Bonga. Bonga able to slip away from a tackle, get 4 more yards as he was able to get by.
Nice job getting most of that yards back. So he's going to bring up a 3rd down here. Or excuse me, 2nd and 11. So Bonga, nice physical run after the catch there against the linebacker, T. Santiago. He just kind of put his shoulder down and got what he could get there. 2nd and 11.
So now from the 42-yard line, they line up under center. They fake it, and here is Thorson rolling to his right. Pass is going to be caught and immediately tackle right there. Randy Wojtacek coming in for his 1st catch of the season.
Yeah, again, they've tried to outflank him in the flat a couple of times. This time the corner has his eyes back in the backfield. Excuse me, the linebacker who's riding that receiver out has his eyes back in the backfield as you're supposed to. We've beaten him a couple times when that linebacker turns his head and tries to chase the receiver. That time he had his eyes back, he planted and came up and made the tackle. Big 3rd and long here.
Now 3rd down and 11 on the Titans 42, under 40 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. Here's Thorson on a 3-man rush, fires, and the pass caught all the way down inside the 25. And who else? It's Ben Bonga.
That's your go-to guy, your leading receiver from a year ago. Makes a huge play on a dig route. Thorson, great decisive throw, couple of hitches, plants his foot in the ground, throws the ball on time on the break. It's so important that you throw as the receiver's breaking because that window is there. And if you wait for him to come open and then throw it, the DBs can react. And these are great DBs that can react. But Thorson throwing the ball on time, it's uncoverable when you throw it on time to a receiver breaking into an area, and is a great execution.
21-yard gain on 3rd down. They hand it off to Weeks, and he's able to slip forward, avoid the tackle for loss, and actually get a little bit, maybe 1.
That's Javion St.
That is
Julian
the end of the 3rd quarter.
Jumping into the backfield there. He had 1.5 tackles for loss last week, including 1.5 sacks and a couple quarterback hurries in their opener. Last year, he had several tackles for loss and a couple of sacks. One of their returning players who they like a lot, a junior, just 5'10", 250 pounds. He's out of Kenosha, Wisconsin, but he makes a play that Weeks makes him kind of miss, but then they got into got him back to the line of scrimmage, but certainly slowed the play down.
That was the end of the third quarter on that 2-yard run. The only score coming from the Titans, but they missed the 2-point conversion. And it's now 17-15 entering the fourth, and what's been a tight battle between two top 25 teams. As you have said, perhaps some playoff implications down the road, as the committee could be looking towards this matchup for both teams.
Well, it's massive. Both of these teams want to schedule top-level teams because they're trying to improve their strength of schedule, which is one of the primary criteria when judging for at-large bids. So if either one of these teams don't win their conference, which is a distinct possibility when you got top 10 teams, top number 1 team in the country, North Central in the CCIW, and Whitewater, who's top 5 in the WEAC. If those two teams go on to be the favorites, win the conference, and these two teams are fighting for what's only 4 at-large bids. So strength of schedule is a massive consideration, and both these guys scheduled this game with that in mind, trying to have strength of schedule be important. But one of these teams could end up with 2 losses, and instead of just winning, the other team's going to have a great win and potentially only 1 loss or no losses if they're able to win their conference.
And you can argue that last season's Thunder team was able to get into the postseason because of those high-quality losses to Trinity and North Central. Meanwhile, here's Giovanni Weeks on the carry. But as you said, another flag, and it looks like this might be coming back.
Might have gotten Voyachek out there on the perimeter on another hold.
Holding, offense, number 32.
Yep.
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
You're battling,
Second
and you've
down.
got the guy right in front of you. You get your hands inside, but when that defender fights off to try to get Weeks to the outside, you cannot extend your arms. And if the refs see you extending your arms and still holding them, they're going to call you. And that's what most of these holding calls have been. You've got to let him go. And you got to let him go because Weeks has the speed. You've done your job. Once he gets outside your frame, let him go. He's not going to catch Giovanni. He's going to outrun him. So you just got to be smart, and that's going to be a coaching point on tape this week.
Second down and 14 after the penalty. Here's Thorson off the play fake. Thorson stands strong, fires in traffic, and the pass is going to be caught. And it is Ben Juska who comes up with the grab.
Great job by Thorson there. His primary wasn't open. He was trying to get to, I don't know who he was trying to get to out there, but then he just saw Thorson. He made a great throw into a tight window. Accurate throw. Again, that's what you want out of Thorson. You want decisive, accurate throws. And he's done that today. He's done a great job. So again, got him inside the chains. They're going to come 3rd and 8 instead of a 3rd and long, which 3rd and 8 is still sort of long, but gives them a chance here. Big, big play right here.
Thunder offense, 4th best on 3rd downs in the country. Here's Thorson going to the outside. That pass is going to be caught, and it's going to be a first down.
Wow.
Caleb
That is
Tillerton.
So hard. What a fantastic play by Thorson. He's got an unblocked player. He's doing a play fake. He knows he's going to get hit. And that throw, to make that accurately, is so hard to do. You have to step into it, and you have to really laser that out there. Great job by Ben, and a huge first down for the Thunder. Possession is 4th quarter. Possessions are going to be at a premium here, so you have to manage every one of these opportunities incredibly well. Really a great play by Thorson there.
It's an 8-yard pass for the first down, and a handoff goes to Weeks. Giovanni Weeks tripped up for only a gain of about 1 or 2.
He had a window. Nice blocking up there. The 2 tight end look again. They collapse down, and then, but coming back out, he just trips over the feet of Raditz, I think, and still able to pick up about 3 yards, which is great. So, again, huge set of downs right here. You got to get a touchdown and put the pressure back on Berghammer and the Oshkosh offense.
And scoring a touchdown would basically make it a 2-possession game. So now 2nd down and 7 from the 8. A handoff once again goes Weeks. Oh, so close to the end zone. He's going to be brought down inside the 5.
3rd and 2. From the 2. 2.5 maybe. They're marking it on the 3 on the scoreboard. So they're bringing Karstens in.
So Thunder can pick up a first down before scoring a touchdown, but I bet they are looking at touchdown if anything.
2 tight ends down here to the bottom of the screen.
I believe it's Bonga to the top of your screen. Now he motions out inside.
They're flipping the formation now. Now there's going to be 2 tight ends. Now there's 5 seconds left in the play clock. They got to get set.
And by the way, Giovanni Weeks out of the Wildcat, going to take it himself, but the Titans, they were ready for him.
Somebody loses their helmet. That's going to be one of the interior linemen, so he's got to go out for a play if your helmet comes off. That's fourth down. Big call here by Jesse Scott. He's going to go for it, and this is what you play for right here. A huge play in the game. 12 minutes to go in the game. Fourth down and goal from the 2-yard line. Thunder apparently like what they've practiced and what they think they're going to get out of here. They got Boyacek up top in a stack formation. Jessica down here with Bonga to the bottom.
Thunder 12 of 17 on fourth downs, and it looks like a timeout.
Wheaton
will be taken
this half.
Jesse's taking a timeout here. He didn't like the way guys weren't getting lined up. He didn't want what they had. Didn't like the way they were lined up in the formation.
Correction. That was Wheaton's second timeout this half.
Unfortunately, that's your second timeout that you burn. You've only got one left now in what's a 2-point game. But again, a huge play. You got to get lined up. You got to make sure you're in position here. This is a big, big turning point in the game, and could ultimately decide the outcome. If the Thunder are able to get the 2 yards, and an extra point is going to make this thing a 9-point game, a 2-score game, as you point out. And if they don't, it's just a 2-point game if they don't get this. So the swing here is gigantic. It's going to be massive, the execution here. Let's see if Oshkosh tries to bring a little pressure. They're not really a pressure team, but they have to come up and be a bit aggressive on the goal line here. Again, they like to do all 3 interior guys covered, which looks like what they have, kind of a Chicago Bear defense, if you will. And they've got guys bump and run man across the board.
Christian Carson's in the game for the Thunder, not Giovanni Weeks, and they will give it to him right up the middle. He's in for the touchdown.
Big time. So Jesse said, hey guys, I'm going over my All-American, my first team All-Conference, Paul Fay and Trevor Gabriel over the left side, and we're going to win or lose on the back of those 2 big dogs. And that's what they did, and those guys got them in the end zone. Big play there. Huge play for the Thunder here in the fourth quarter to punch that in. Now you got to convert this extra point. Will put all the pressure back on Berghammer and this Titans offense.
This is to make it a 2-possession game right now, an 8-point game. And the kick up, and it is no good. So it remains a 1-possession game. That could prove costly for the Thunder. But regardless, the Wheaton offense able to score a crucial touchdown to go up by 8 points off of Christian Carson's.
As a coach, the thing that just, it gives you a lot of stress is just little things like that, missing extra points that you got to be able to count on an extra point. And, the Thunder, across a lot of different people over the last number of years, have struggled in that area for whatever reason. And unfortunately, it's going to potentially come into play again. It's an 8-point game, so now a touchdown and a 2-point conversion ties it, instead of needing absolutely 2 scores. So now you're putting the ball in the hands of the best player on the Titans offense. Again, the Thunder defense coming in, the strength of this defense on paper was going to be the secondary, and that's who's going to have to step up here again. This front is also going to have to get pressure.
And now kicking it back to the Titans from his own end zone. It'll be London Little who will take it out. And Little has some space, and he's still going. London Little plowing his way forward all the way down to the 41, as the Titans fans who have traveled 3 hours south to get here love what they just saw.
Yeah, huge return, bringing out of his own end zone. That's confident.
Yep.
That's confident, and it paid off. There's a couple missed tackles here, and great blocking up front by the Titans and their special teams guys, and he gets it all the way out across the 40. Great field position for Berghammer to see what he can do. Huge sequence in the game. This is winning time right now. Fourth quarter, Thunder up 23-15. Berghammer with the ball. He's got 2 veteran receivers down here to the bottom.
So now from the 41-yard line, after the London Little return, they hand it off up the middle inside. And a swarm of tacklers there to bring him down.
Great job there by the interior. Looks like Isaac Parrish getting involved. Linebacker Eller was in there for Lita.
After the pickup of about 2, it's 2nd down and 8. And Titans only trailing by 1 score thanks to that missed extra point. From the 43-yard line, here's Berghammer looking to throw. Berghammer feels pressure out to his right, fires on the move, and the pass is going to be caught. Hager comes up with the grab right near the 1st down marker.
Ton of pressure. Peter Johannek was a going to be a special player, makes an inside move on Sugar. The one thing Sugar, the big offensive tackle, is susceptible to, that was not part of the scouting report, is an inside move. He's a big, long-armed kid, 6'6", 320-pound, all-conference WEAC performer. But you can beat him on a speed rusher, can beat him on an inside move. Peter Johannick did that there, was all over Berghammer, but Berghammer able to get the ball out anyway to Steger. Third and short.
3rd down and 4 from the 47. Here's Berghammer with some pressure right up the middle, able to escape for now. Berghammer will fire on the move. Pass is going to be incomplete, but multiple flags as it was intended for Trey Tetzlaff, but it looks like it'll move the chains.
Yeah, and that's tough for a DB to really defend for that long. You don't know where the ball is. You don't know what's underthrown. The receiver sees it. You got to stay on your guy. He's coming back for the ball, and that contact's going to be there. So the ref has his hat off, which means the receiver may have run out of bounds. We'll see how this plays out.
There are 2 fouls on a play, both by the defense.
No.
Pass interference, defense number 12. That penalty declined. Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 40. That 15-yard penalty is enforced from the previous spot and an automatic 1st down.
A penalty.
Wow, that's a big penalty right there on the Thunder. I think they got the jersey number wrong.
Yeah, because Jaden Pacau, the tight end, is listed at number 40.
It might have been Isaac Parrish, who's number 48. He'd be the defensive end. I didn't see who was close to the play, but that's going to be one of the guys that's out there now. Probably Parrish. If it's a 40 number, he's the only, I think, 40 number out there. So Berghammer's in business into Wheaton territory.
So now at the 37-yard line, penalty giving the Titans some new life, down 8 with 10:14 to go. Here's Berghammer rolling to his left, trying to buy some time, trying to escape now. Berghammer keeping the play alive. He fires, and the pass is caught. London Little all the way down to the 14-yard line. Talk about the improvisation of Kobe Berghammer.
Yeah, when he gets out of the pocket to his left, he's usually not a great thrower. That's only the 3rd completion in 2 years that the guy's made running to his left, scrambling to his left. Now, when you run after him, you got to break down and just keep him there, right? And you can't let him use his feet to buy that time. But he's just an athlete. He's a tough kid, great player down in the red zone. Oshkosh doing a great job here, getting their opportunity.
So now from the 13-yard line, handed off inside
Missed
and looking
tackle
for some space. And still going into the end zone for the touchdown. It's Doug Trennell in for 6.
2 missed tackles, one in the back at the line of scrimmage, another one at about the 5-yard line, resulting in that touchdown. Again, great running there by the running back there, and now they're going to go for 2 to try to tie it.
Titans went for 2 earlier in this game, were not successful because of a miscue.
C.J. Nightingale loves to bring pressure in this situation. I'd expect man coverage across the board. He's got his 2 stud receivers in the slot down here to the bottom of the screen, along with London Little out wide. Maybe some sort of corner route.
Here's Berghammer on the 2-point conversion. Throws, pass is going to be caught. And can he get to the end zone?
No.
Oh, no, he will not.
Wow.
What a huge tackle made by the Wheaton defense, stepping up huge.
Well, it's huge. Johnny Eller, the linebacker, really makes that play. He lost track of again, they leaked him out. They leaked Burson out late. You see he's the guy. Well, here's the touchdown. That's Doug Burson on the touchdown there. And on the extra point, they leaked him out. Eller spied him and got back to him. And then he broke down and stayed in front of him, allowed the rest of the defense to come back and help gang tackle him and keep him out of the end zone on the 2-point conversion. Huge play by the linebacker there. Here it is. He's coming from opposite side of the formation, all the way from the right across. They're trying to get him outside. Eller sees him. You can see him. Look at him break down. He misses the tackle, but he turns him back inside where the rest of the defense is, and they all gang tackle him from there. You can't let him get to the corner. You get to his outside, turn him back to where all your pursuers are coming. Great job by the Thunder to keep him out of the end zone there and maintain that 2-point lead. 9:28 to go. Now you need a big ball control drive that ends in points. That's what nothing short of that is going to be acceptable here.
And once again, the kickoff, and the Thunder will get a good chance at a return. And looking for some space and brought down to the 36. Some good field position there.
Yeah, they'll take that.
And if we go back to that 2-point conversion, that tackle could be the play of the game, because if he went in, this is a completely different ball game. It would have been tied, but the Thunder is still holding on with a 2-point margin.
Yeah, I can't tell you how hard it is to cover a guy who starts on the opposite side of the formation, comes behind the line of scrimmage. They bring everybody, the 3 receivers to the short side. They brought them all across the field, and they're trying to get you outflanked and beat you across the. And Eller makes a great read to get in front of him, slow him down, and the rest of the guys made great chase the ball.
So now from the 36-yard line, RPO run up the middle all the way to about the 41-yard line. It goes for Christian Carsons.
And this is kind of Karsten's Giovanni Weeks time. You know, you want to line up in 2 tight ends and try to pound the rock here and burn some clock and move the ball down, and getting 5.5 yards on first down is a great start.
Especially here in the fourth quarter, the running game could be useful, trying to tire out that defense. And now from the 41-yard line after a gain of 5 on first down, 2nd and 5. And once again, they will hand it off. It is Carsons getting the carry, and Christian Carsons will plow his way forward for the first down.
So Jesse Scott right now, he's saying my veteran offensive line is going to win me this football game. He's going to hand it to these running backs and be physical. There's double teams coming downhill. Great block from the tight end. I think that's Wojciech blocking down. Great physical run by Karstens. Picks up the first down, runs that clock.
So now first down and 10 from the 47, 8:30, less than 8:30 left to go. A play fake. Here's Thorson with some time. He fires. Nobody home, and it's going to be incomplete. Bonga, the closest receiver in the area.
Taking a shot there after you're having success in the running game. That's okay. Going to run a play action pass. Try to get Bonga in behind people. A little bit of miscommunication on what the route was. I think Thorson was expecting a post, and he ran more of a square in or a dig route. Brings up a 2nd down and 10. Let's see if they go back to the running game here.
Now operating out of the shotgun. From the 47-yard line, handed off once again inside. It's Carsons, who will get about to midfield, maybe the 49. And I'll bring up 3rd down.
So the challenge on 2nd and long, taking that shot, is now you're running the ball on 2nd and 10. Excuse me, 1st and 10, taking that shot. It's 2nd and 10. You pick up 3 yards. Now you got kind of 3rd and 7. It's a big play and a little bit of a tough yardage here, right at midfield. So we'll see what they do play call wise. They're substituting a tight end for another wide receiver, Titherington. So Wojciech is out, Titherington's in. Play clock down to 10. They got to get lined up and go.
Thunder 5 of 11 on 3rd downs in this game. Need a huge conversion here.
Extra guy coming from down below.
They do bring pressure. Out to his right, Thorson on the move. Pass, it's going to be caught. Oh, a huge chain mover. It's Ben Bonga.
Yeah, he had Kortenhoven coming across the middle wide open as well. I mean, really wide open. That's who he thought he was throwing it to. Instead, he throws. Great job avoiding the rush, and then somebody coming. Look at that throw. Right where it needs to be. Bonga with the catch in the first down. Massive pickup from Thorson's having a great game, and Bonga is showing himself to be a really high-level receiver in Division III right here.
9-yard gain on 3rd down. Now from the Titans' 41-yard line. Titherton in motion. They hand it off to Giovanni Weeks, and Weeks going up to about the 36-yard line, maybe 35.
Safety coming up to make that play. That's Eli Trinell, a junior out of West Bend. He had 6 tackles last week. Steps up. Those safeties are really active in the run game for Oshkosh, and it's not just because it's because they're part of the scheme. They put their safeties as part of the defensive run scheme. Raditz, their safety, is number 5, is their leading tackler from a year ago.
2nd down and 6 from the 37. Bonga now motioning into the slot. They're 10 in motion once again. They hand it off inside, and there goes Giovanni Weeks.
He got the first down.
And we'll keep the chains moving, more importantly, and the clock continues to run down.
Great feed by Giovanni there. He bounces it outside and but stays right downhill. You see big Nitz, the right tackle, Elijah Nitz, who's a 5th-year senior graduate student, coming back to live his dream for his final year. Does a great job chipping off, pushes the defensive tackle down, and turns out on the linebacker. Creates the hole for Weeks to get through.
First down and 10 from the 29-yard line. Clock continues to run, and they will give it once again. It's
Stay
Christian
in bounds.
Carsons down the sideline, goes out of bounds, though, as he was drawing it up with Jared Sad.
You know, one of the major rule changes in college football this year is on first downs, the clock no longer stops until it's under 2 minutes. So even when it run out of bounds, usually for years, if you got a first down, the clock stops until they reset the change and then they restart the clock. They changed that this year in the offseason so to try to make these games shorter. So the clock runs even on a first down, except in the last 2 minutes of a game.
So now the clock running under 5:30 after that first down run by Carsons. He is still in the game for the Thunder.
You got to keep running it here. That's what they're giving you.
Play clock at 2 right now. I'm not sure if he sees it, and they will call timeout. Let's see if he
their
got it off in
final
time.
Timeout. Yeah, they called timeout. That's their
Before
final
the play
timeout.
clock expired, timeout Wheaton. That is their third and final charged timeout this half.
And Doug, what's interesting to note is that both head coaches for the Thunder, you have Coach Scott, he's entering his 4th year at the helm. Meanwhile, for Coach Jennings, he's in his 2nd year. Both are taking over for successive head coaches. For Coach Scott, he just took over for Coach Schweider. And then meanwhile, for Coach Jennings, he took over for Coach Cerrone. So my question, I guess, is what does having a young head coach do for both organizations?
Well, it brings energy. Most of these guys, you know, you earn a spot at a great program like this because you've established yourself as an assistant, but you also bring a lot of energy. You bring some news, a little bit of new direction. Oshkosh looks very similar to what they've done, but they're doing some new things. You know, he's more of an aggressive coach, Jennings is, and he likes to turn his players loose. He gets the ball in his hands of his best player. But, you know, getting that, you can get energy both on the recruiting trail as well as in terms of how you run the program. Jesse Scott certainly brought that, and paying off for both these teams, really top-level D3 team.
9th play of the drive. They hand it off to Christian Carsons looking for some real estate, and he will be brought down at about either the 16 or 15. As that clock for now stops.
So the Thunder, 166 yards rushing today on 44 attempts. They're really trying to pound the ball. That's only about 3.8 yards per rush. But they're trying to control the line of scrimmage and the game by limiting the number of plays that Berghammer gets. So big 2nd down here. I expect them to probably run the ball again.
2nd down and 7 from the 16-yard line. RPO, and going to have to just ground it. That's going to be incomplete.
Yeah, they're trying to run a wide receiver
The ruling
screen.
on the field is an incomplete forward pass. 3rd down.
Good job by Thorson. He didn't have it. They read it, so he just burned it at the feet of his receiver, which keeps you from getting a grounding call because you're throwing it into a receiver, and he makes sure it's a forward pass. Bonga, great job jumping on it to make sure they didn't rule it backwards or lateral. So, again, 21 of 28 for Thorson today. Really outstanding. Total 411 total yards for the Thunder, but a big, big 3rd down right here.
3rd down and 7 now for the Thunder. Giovanni Weeks back.
Got to go. You have no timeouts.
In the ballgame, play clock running down. It's at 1 right now, and they're able to get it off just in time. Over the middle, that's going to be caught, and it's going to move the chains of first down.
What a great read by Thorson. You know, he's a smart kid. He's really proven that he's here to stay and having a great game. To be able to see that, he knew off the snap where the advantage was going to be. He had soft coverage. That motion had it. They bumped the DBs, and he saw that. Saw he had soft coverage. Knew he had the slant route. Threw the ball as soon as he got it. A fantastic play. That kid has managed the game as well as you can manage a game.
And that catch will take Bongo over 100 yards now. 9 catches, $106, still looking for his first receiving touchdown. They'll hand it off right up the middle.
There it is.
And there's a rushing touchdown for Giovanni Weeks, his first of the season.
Wow. What an impressive drive by the Thunder. They overcame a few things and just, you know, took over the line of scrimmage, really. This game's been won up front, but you can't say enough about the job that Ben Thorson has done today and at managing this game, getting his team in the right spots. He's been very decisive, made some great plays. He's played better than Berghammer today. That's just the bottom line is, you know, Berghammer comes in as a headliner, but Ben Thorson, to me, besides this offensive line for the Thunder, Ben Thorson's the player of the game.
Extra point on the way, and it is good. And by the way, that rushing touchdown for Giovanni Weeks ties Mark Leffler, school record for the most total touchdowns, either rushing or receiving. And he played from 93 to 96. Thank you for the correction.
Yeah, I was coaching here when Loeffler was here. He's out in San Diego, one of the best wide receivers in D3. He set a couple of D3 records back then. Phenomenal receiver that was back then unstoppable on an undefeated Wheaton team that ran to the quarterfinals and lost to a team called Mount Union. One of the first times they ever played them. It is the first time they played them out in Ohio near the start of Mount Union's long run of national championships.
For Giovanni Weeks now 22 carries, $106, just got his first rushing touchdown of the season. Meanwhile, Christian Carson's 14 carries, 73 yards, and 2 touchdowns for him. These two running backs really getting it done and really allowing Ben Thorson settle in as the quarterback. And the kickoff. Another chance for London Little at a return. He will take it. And Little still going. There goes London Little with some space. Still on his feet. Wow. There it goes down the sideline. And he's going to be brought out of bounds into Thunder territory.
They're going to have to do some work on this coverage team on the kickoff. Mikey Sweater cannot be happy with that. And they had plenty of guys over there. Just great blocking and execution by the Titans. Yeah, they had everybody blocked up. And the personal protector's a little too deep. You want him a little tighter than that. Great job by Weyhofer getting over there to keep it from going the distance. But midfield setup for Berghammer with 4 minutes to go in this game. A lot of time left.
And especially if they can score quickly. They still have all 3 of their timeouts. Here's Berghammer given time, trying to throw the out pattern that's going to be caught. It is Tetzlaff, and that will move the chains and a first down.
Max protect there. They had a tight end and the running back stay in. Just 3 receivers in the pattern. Making a simple throw, and he's got a strong arm. That's a long throw from the left hash all the way to the field on a deep out cut. That's the type of arm talent that Berghammer has, though. He can make that throw.
And Tetzlaff, who only had 1 catch in the first half, now has 5 total. Here's Berghammer with pressure. He goes down.
Ferlita, they did a little end first. The end comes across, and Ferlita comes around on a loop. I believe that's what happened. And he got loose. Excuse me, it wasn't Ferlita. It was Christian Bonacristi. Came around the outside. I believe that was number 92 on the sack. Great play by him. Big time play right there. Put him behind the chains and 2nd and long.
2nd down and 16 after the sack. Here's Berghammer. Given time, all day to throw. Going to dial up the deep ball for the end zone. Pass is incomplete into double coverage. It was intended once again, I believe, Tetzlaff.
Yeah, he's their deep guy. That's the guy they want to throw it to. And Tetzlaff's a 6 foot 176. Plenty of protection, only rushing 3 and blocking was 6. So there's 2 guys for every rusher. You got to make that play, and they did.
Nice 3rd down and 16 now with 2:58 to go. Definitely 4 down territory for the Titans. Tetzlaff to the bottom of your screen. Berghammer out of the shotgun.
You want to spy Berghammer on running here.
Here's Berghammer on a 4-man rush. Fires, pass incomplete though.
Yeah, 250. You kind of have to go for it here, 3rd and long.
And down 2 possessions.
Thunder had some nickel ends in, some nickel backs and man under, which means there's man-to-man across the front, and there's 2 deep safeties to help over the top. So all the underneath routes the guys playing man can be much more aggressive about. Now it's 4th down, and they got to get to the stick. So you want your DBs playing deeper.
4th down. John Matthew, by the way, the intended receiver on that 3rd down incompletion. 4th and 16 now. Trouble with the snap. Berghammer still has it now. He fires. Pass picked off. Intercepted. And still going on the return, and finally going to go down at about the 30-yard line, but a crucial play is made. Max Wilson, one of those defensive backs that you were talking about, comes up with a huge takeaway.
But pressure, you can see the pressure coming in. You got Peter Johannek coming off the edge, beats the block, makes him throw the ball. Max Wilson gets his eyes back around. His 2nd interception of the day. Big day for Max Wilson. And this young defensive front for the Thunder, boy, you can't say enough about the job that they have done today. What a tremendous job. Peter Johannek, Isaac Parrish, Jaden Ferlita, Christian Bonacristi. These guys put pressure on Berghammer all day.
Wheaton offense back out there, and they'll start on the ground game. I believe it is Christian Carsons. It is, who takes the rock all the way up to the 35-yard line, and now the Titans are going to have to start thinking about using some of their timeouts, and that is exactly what Coach Jennings does.
Their first this half.
Well, Jesse Scott's got to be super happy with the performance of his team. You know, so many starters from a year ago that he's had to replace. He's had some key guys come back, so they have some talent. But some of these young guys that have stepped up, especially defensively, Peter Johannick, Isaac Parrish, Johnny Yeller, Lawson Hagler coming back from his injury a year ago. In the secondary at safety, Clay Campbell made the play on Tetzloff down there on the double coverage. Andrew Partika starting his first game. You have guys coming in as nickelbacks, guys like Chase Smith, who's got a great contingent here in the stands, who's done a great job today, and Max Smith. All those guys, key contributors today, and just a tremendous job. And then this Wheaton offensive front has controlled the line of scrimmage. Aiden Kingsbury, Paul Fay, Trevor Gabriel, Nick Beard, and Elijah Nitz. 3 of those guys returning fifth-year seniors, two of them all conference, and what a great performance today.
And you think getting 1 first down should end this game, and they'll stay on the ground game. Giovanni Weeks does exactly that. Lowers the shoulder as he takes it all the way down to the 45.
Yeah, they got Karstens in there, and he's just a physical runner. Karstens is senior, 5'10", 181 pounds, just lowering the shoulder. And again, physical team from a physical league, and Wheaton's been the more physical team today.
Play was blown in. Timeout, Oshkosh. That is their second timeout. Clock operator, can you please reset the game clock to 2 minutes, 29 seconds? 2:29 on the game clock. Thank you.
So they're going to erase that play because they're saying it was dead because Jennings had called timeout, I believe. So maybe it was after the first down. He called timeout as soon as the ball was blown dead. So they did get the first down. So one more timeout left for the Titans, I believe.
And for the Thunder, they'll be off to Illinois Wesleyan next week, and then they have Augustana and North Central, especially that matchup against North Central, the battle for the Little Brass Bell. A huge game against the number one ranked national champions. A matchup that everyone will have their eyes on. And meanwhile, for the Titans, they still have a lot of tough teams ahead, including UW-La Crosse and River Falls, as well as Whitewater. All those teams ranked in the top 15. And they'll hand it off inside. And
that's Karstens again. He'll pick up 5.
And he keeps the chains moving. And the final timeout will come in.
Timeout, Oshkosh. That is their team's third and final timeout this half.
So the only other team that's been in action today in the CCIW is Illinois Wesleyan, whose next week's opponent, the Thunder, will travel to Bloomington to play them. And in the fourth quarter with 10 minutes to go, they're losing to Central 31-13 down in Bloomington in what's Illinois Wesleyan's opener. So it appears that Wesleyan will go in as an 0-1 against the Thunder, who are headed towards 1-0, up 9 points here with 2:22 to go if they can just manage it. The other thing Thunder have done well, close to 50 rushing attempts for this game, and they haven't fumbled the ball. They had ball was on the ground a couple of times, but were on pitches, the one pitch, been able to recover. But they've done a nice job with ball security, which is just so huge. That's one of the things that the Oshkosh defense also is trying to get done.
Entering this game, the Thunder, a lot of question marks surrounding the quarterback. So far, Ben Thorson has been amazing. He's played extremely well. Turnover-free football, that's what you want. And again, they'll feed it with Christian Carsons. He's very close to the first down.
Going to be 3rd and short. In the fourth quarter at Bethel, Wartburg is number 3 Wartburg leading Bethel, who's also top 25 team, 13-2 in a strange score. And then up in Wisconsin, in Janesville, Whitewater St. John's, 2 top 5 teams, 28 all in the third quarter. Hardin-Simmons and Wisconsin La Crosse both also ranked, 28-21 Hardin-Simmons up at La Crosse. And in one of the other ranked team battles. And then a big game tonight, Mary Hardin-Baylor is at Trinity, Texas.
3rd down and 2. You got to think the Titans got to have a stop here. We're going to keep hope alive, but nope. The Wheaton offense going to move the chains, and that should do it with Christian Carsons taking the carry.
No timeouts left. You're going to see him take a knee. That's Jesse Scott putting both hands in the air in a V formation, which stands for victory. The Thunder are going to win this game in a very impressive performance by a bunch of new players, as well as some veteran guys that came back for this exact thing, and a huge leg up for the Thunder, a win against this team who's going to be very good in the WEAC, going to be very good in that conference, and the Thunder are going to come up with a huge victory here. So congrats to Jesse Scott for scheduling a game like this, a tough game to schedule against a tough team, and it's going to pay off as a huge 1-0 as they go into next week into league play. The rest of these games are going to be league play, and they get a tough schedule in September. They're playing at Wesleyan, which is a tough road game, regardless of how things turn out down in Bloomington today, and they're playing a very good Central team. And then you're playing Augie at home, who's picked, I think, picked fourth in the conference, pretty close with WashU, and Augie's much improved, 6-4 last year. And then you got North Central here on the 30th for homecoming, a 1 o'clock game, which is going to be absolutely massive. The number 1 team against Wheaton, who might move up a couple of spots here. They'll be around 10th or so. So that's going to be the final whistle as the Thunder kind of clock it out, and coaches shake hands. And wow, what a great victory for this Thunder team. And disappointing for Oshkosh, but Oshkosh has a very good team, and they're going to perform well. They've got some great players. Both teams got to clean some things up. But Thunder had a great game plan against Berghammer, who is a talented quarterback, and they did a good job, keeping him under wraps a little bit today.
Yeah, with the win, the Thunder are going to start this season 1-0. Always good to start off with a win. Meanwhile, the Titans will drop to 1-1, and they'll be playing East Texas Baptist at home, actually on the road. So they'll be traveling down to Texas to take on East Texas Baptist. Again, the Thunder will be playing on the road against Illinois Wesleyan.
Yeah, we'll be back here with the call in 2 weeks against Augustana, which I believe, is that a night game?
Yes, it is a night game.
Yeah, so we're going to have a night game for that. And we're just getting the final stats here. Let's take a look at where we're at. Yeah, Thunder with 81 plays. That huge difference in the game right there. It just jumps off the page at you. 53 plays. They held Wisconsin-Oshkosh to run 53 plays, and they still had 333 yards of play. So that's 6.5 yards of play, which is pretty good. But the Thunder ran 81 plays, almost 30 more plays for 449 yards, and they rushed for almost 200 yards. 52 rushes for 195. Ben Thorson, what a phenomenal start to his final season here. A great job. 22 of 29, 254 yards. He was sacked twice. Didn't throw any touchdowns, but boy, he managed the game so well. He was decisive. He made the right plays. He got out of plays and burned plays where he knew it wasn't going to be a good play. So player of the game for me right there is Ben Thorson. But you also had Geo Weeks, 22 carries for 101 yards. 4.6 yards per carry. Good job, actually, by Oshkosh to limit him. He averages 6.5 yards a carry. He's only 4.6, but he grounded out. And Wheaton controlled the line of scrimmage. Karstens chips in with 99 yards of himself. So you basically got 200-yard rushers here, yep. Which is big. We did have a guy, Christian Karstens, who was physical today. He did a great job. And it was that offensive line. Man, did they do a great job with those tight ends. Juska and Wojtacek, both those guys were awesome. Even the freshman Cobb comes in and gets some quality time and some experience. He's going to be a great player for this team. And then receiving, you had Bonga doing Bonga things. Ben's been a great player, and he's going to have a great year. He had 12 targets. He had 9 receptions, 106 yards, and had almost 50 yards after the catch. And then Giovanni Weeks had 3 catches. Ben Juska with 3 catches. Caleb Titherington with 3. On defense, the Thunder, great job. Clay Campbell comes out of his safety spot with 8 hits. Lawson Hagler with 7. Peter Johannick with 5. And Andrew Partika, the other safety, with 4. On the other side for Oshkosh, you had Kobe Berghammer, 15 of 28, 2 interceptions, both of them by Max Wilson. 188 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was sacked once. Tristan Taylor had 63 yards, 7.9 yard average. Berghammer, for the first time in a long time, was not the leading rusher, but he did have 61 yards. Doug, Burson, 27 yards. And then receiving, Tetzlaff comes back with only one catch in the first half, comes back with 4 in the second half for a total of 49 yards and a touchdown. Steger has 3 for 16. London Little 2 for 86. He had a long one of 61 in that first half when he got behind us. And Clayton Schwab comes out of the tight end spot / backfield for 2 catches. Gives him 7 on the year. On defense, Raditz, who's been their leading tackler, was again with 14 tackles. Eli Trinnell comes out of his safety spot for 10 tackles. Dietzen has 7, and Saad has 6. So overall, great game by the Thunder. 6 penalties. They only had 2 in the first half, 4 in the second. A couple of those were some big holding calls. But time of possession, big number difference here too. See the Thunder with 36 minutes to Oshkosh's just 23 minutes. That's the tail of the tape right there. They were able to run more plays, control the clock, and a big part of that was Ben Thorson. He managed the game so well.
Yeah, and the Thunder offense, they did not expect Thorson to be like Will Bowers from last season, just trying to ease him in and just get comfortable. You just want to be able to, do the basics and then go from there. And he really was able to distribute it to his playmakers like Carsons and Ben Bonga. Well, the Thunder get the win. 13th ranked team in the nation, likely going to move up in the rankings. Meanwhile, for the Titans, they fall to 1-1. And from all of us here on the Wheaton Thunder Sports Network and Doug Rushchild, I'm Aiden Kong saying so long from Wheaton, Illinois.